right, hello, and welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Delta Green tonight, continuing our Impossible Landscapes campaign. We have reached the finale of Part 3, not of the whole thing. There's still a Part 4, but tonight we will see the end of Part 3. Where we left off, how far we got. We definitely will finish Part 3 tonight. Then we'll take a break for our, for holidays and things like that as schedules get crazy, and then we'll be back in January to finish the entirety of Impossible Landscapes, which is, it's amazing to think that we're getting ready to start Part 4 of this, which is insane. The fact that we've made it this far to Part 3 is still pretty amazing to me. We made it to Hotel Broadalbin, as you can see down there. That's where we're at, and yeah, I'm really, really excited. I've been thinking. I'm like, is anyone gonna make it out tonight? Is anyone gonna make it out? Like, we'll see. I wish we could do a 4-way prediction and see which character is most likely, like the predictive way of getting out. That would be very interesting.
Final 4 version.
Could start a
when
poll
did
in
we
chat.
start? When did we start this up? This is episode 28, so we've got 28 episodes total. Episode 2 or Part 2 definitely ran the longest. Part 1 I think was 7 eps, and then Part 2 was like 12, and then maybe not. Yeah. Part 2 was like around 12 or so, and then I think we're finishing up on 9.
Check YouTube and see when we posted the.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent. Like, we've been pretty consistent. We've missed a few here and there, especially between parts, but like we've been fairly consistent. So. I don't know.
8 months ago.
35 weeks ago? Okay.
We posted chapter 1 8 months ago.
April? We started this in April? Is that right? No, wait. Yeah, because this is December, right? So we started in April?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Oh my goodness. And I think we'll get it. We'll get it done in under a year. We'll get it done in under a year.
Yeah.
For sure. So
March 24th.
We started in March?
March 24th was episode 1.
Okay.
April, yeah.
And we probably won't start Part 4 until I think we're targeting the 7th of January, like as our first session, but we'll see how it goes once, holidays kind of run their course. So and I don't think Part 4 is going to take extraordinarily long. I think Part 4 is more going to be like Part 1. It's going to be like really intense, like shorter episodes or a shorter run. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I thought this was going to be, I believe the book when the book said 4 to 5 sessions per chapter. Lied to me. We do things a little differently. We're slow here and there. We take our time. We linger. And plus we didn't know how the hell to play Delta Green when this started. So, and I don't think we still do. So I don't know.
We understand the toll it takes on our characters.
I love this game though. Like, I've been getting to run a lot of it lately. So before we get going, a couple quick plugs as always. So I don't know what we're gonna do next Friday, if we're gonna do anything next Friday. So stay tuned, watch the channel, watch Twitter, check the Twitter that I have, and we'll announce if we're doing something, maybe a one shot of something holiday-ish. If not, we might just take the night off on Friday. Depends on schedules. So tomorrow we'll be back to One Ring. We did start up our One Ring campaign, so very excited. Me, Ashley, Long, and Melissa are doing that, and we had a blast. Like, first session was great, and so we'll be back to session 2 tomorrow and see how that. And I'll keep going. On Monday we'll be back to Alien, it's been like a month since Melissa and I played Alien, so we'll be back to that after a while, which is nice to see. And then, speaking of finales, I am fairly confident that next Thursday on Garblag Games, where our Delta Green Viscid game is going, I'm fairly confident we're gonna conclude that, because things have reached a point where I just don't see, I don't think we need to belabor it anymore. I'm just gonna wipe them. I've been thinking about some Call of Cthulhu. I'm trying to decide what we want to do next year. We have some ideas. We might do more Delta Green. We might do some Call of Cthulhu. We might do smaller things, but I've got both Horror on the Orient Express and Beyond the Mountains of Madness from Call of Cthulhu sitting on my shelf. So that's something we could think about. God's Teeth, I think, is due for Delta Green sometime soon. So that's like the next, I think, campaign length. Or we can kind of piece together our own using the various resources I have at my disposal now with Delta Green stuff to do our own thing, because lots of different stuff. We'll kind of see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. We'll see where everybody is once we finish part 4 too, because they could be completely drained and eating paste by then. So who knows? But let's get going. Let's introduce some characters, say who you are, how you feeling, that kind of thing. Our 65-ish year old people, something like that, or 50s, 60s. So Ashley, tell us about Chelsea.
Chelsea, she's doing okay. I've got 35 sand, and 5 health, so not the best, but it's better than where I was. I am just really drawn to the Bottle Bin, and like I feel like I'm gonna find a lot of answers here that we've been looking for. Yeah, other than that,
Okay. Yeah,
nothing too crazy.
Chelsea's had an interesting life.
She really has.
Does she get to continue it after tonight? We'll
I
see.
hope so,
I don't know.
because she's a character.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll go back to ghost hunting.
Things
One
look a
way or
little
another.
different now, right?
If
I think
she's
the
dead,
world looks different
She might
now.
be the ghost.
Could
I was
be.
gonna say her ghost hunting is like looking in the mirror and waiting.
She's like hunting for humans.
Yeah. Speaking of
Look at
ghosts, Long, tell us about Vessel.
Hey, I'm Vessel. Been at the Bottle Bin for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Just been searching for my bottle. Hopefully I can find the labyrinth here as well. It's just, but now with the agents here, I feel like they can help me with it.
Yeah, man. Definitely. I mean, one of them remembered the map that you guys found, tried to do a generic sketch of it. That's certainly going to help. But you've been looking. You've been hanging out with some folks here and there, some familiar faces from our times over the last 20 years. We'll dive into that in a minute. But yeah. And bottom row, we've got Album. Tell us about Album, Derek.
Yeah, so album right now is just kind of fondly recalling the dining room where he just kind of felt, at peace and at ease, and just wandering around this hotel, hearing about how it's got a series of basements and rooms that just go on and on forever. He's got that lingering like anxiety and paranoia of like not the night floors again. Like he did enough wandering, going through door to door to door and just finding nothing. So he right now wants
and
comfort.
the Dorchester too, right? The Dorchester had a little bit of that too. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
And then like the chase, as you guys were going, you guys were opening doors that made no sense. You were changing location, changing time. Like you were arriving at places that like you had read about. Like there were multiple times throughout like getting chased by those shotgun guys where like you were running across a stage or popping up into a movie theater that you had literally read about that moment. And then suddenly it's like, it was you guys that sort of, forced that specific moment, which is gotta be mind blowing. So especially for a guy like Album, who already was like a conspiracy theorist before even all this began,
I figured that'll be like the last thing he holds on to for the motivations.
Yeah. You've been proven right, like I'm right. I told you everything. Yeah. And then finally we got Fawn. Melissa, tell us about Fawn.
So Fawn is running real low on HP, real low on WP. Back up to 20 sand, so there's that. Like that kind of went okay. But yeah, she worked for the National Park Service, archaeologist, is wondering when she might get to talk to her sister again through some sort of radio, worried about her nieces and like crazy video stuff going on with them, and now hates ice cream and ice cream trucks.
Why would you hate ice cream and ice cream trucks? I don't understand that at all. I mean,
that's
is that why you
it's
never get
on.
us ice cream? I don't understand.
It's been ruined. I hear it. I hear what you're doing.
What? You hear what I'm not doing anything. I think
heard it.
I don't know. I think your sand is breaking.
I feel like when Fawn, if she makes it out of this, she's gonna be one of those old women that just hates like everything. Ice cream is bad for you.
It's really the sad thing here is that ice cream has been taken away from fun.
He just
Aw.
will chase after the ice cream truck down the street. God damn it.
She's gonna blow it up on the way down.
Old woman with a shotgun standing
Oh,
on her front
goodness.
lawn, like making sure the ice cream truck goes the other direction in her neighborhood.
Shotguns, Melissa? Seriously? Long sitting right there. It's too soon. Too soon. He's not
Wow.
got
There's
cut in
that.
half by one. So all right, what do you say we get started? Let's do the summary. So I'm just gonna hop forward. So after years of and hints of like whispers and random notes and things like that about a place called the Hotel Broadlebin, you've all finally made it here. And you were kind of harassed and corralled almost, sort of, by these shotgun-wielding figures with their gas masks that were chasing you all throughout Boston and through various times in time and space. And eventually you made it to the doors of the hotel, all but Vessel, of course, who was gunned down. Chelsea saw, I think it was Chelsea we said, right? Chelsea was the one who saw this. Chelsea saw it happen.
I witnessed it.
You got shot down, cut in half, dropped, by this like point blank shotgun blast, or near enough to point blank. But strangely enough, after stepping through these gargoyle flanked doors into the Hotel Broadlebin, who did you first come into contact with but Agent Vessel, who had no recollection whatsoever of being gunned down, and his memory is relatively foggy of recent events that you all have experienced. And he does, like Long mentioned, believe that he's been in the Broadlebin for a while now, waiting for you all, looking for, as he said, his bottle. He's got a room and everything. But you all were able to very easily get rooms as well, as you spoke with the guy who was running the front desk, Elmer Lassette. And apparently you all had these long-held reservations under your real names. And the hotel apparently has been waiting for you, has been expecting you for some time, which has to not be the most... that's got to be a fairly unsettling thing to hear. You started exploring the hotel, speaking with some of its inhabitants, and there were numerous people that you have all met, investigated, read about, heard about in some way. So Mark Rourke, who you recall from 1995 when you first found the entrance to the night floors going up the McAllister building, you saw him again. Emmeline Fitzroy, who you have a book, A World Without Doors, the Wunderkind, who the Fitzroy family lived within the McAllister building for some time. Henry Lundeen, who hired Asa Darabandi, who, by the way, is also here, to build the McAllister building. And also Private Labelus, who you all managed to find an old World War II radio, like glued to the walls of Abigail Wright's apartment in New York back in 1995. Also met them. And they seemed to not understand where they were. They disappeared inside, during a battle in France during World War II. There was some sort of cavorting clown, something like that. But all these people, or at least most of these people, seem to be searching for the Whisper Labyrinth and for their soul bottles. These are terms that you've heard here and there. From what you can glean, the Whisper Labyrinth is somewhere beneath the many basements that the Hotel Broadlebin has. And from what you might know, everybody has a soul bottle. What's in it is unique, you think, just as the bottles themselves are unique, right? You befriended the elevator operator, Charlie. Good old Charlie. Charlie likes to... that's why I love the Hotel Broadlebin, because I can do this voice. One of my favorite voices to do. Charlie makes the elevator go up and makes the elevator go down. But yeah, you met Charlie, inviting you to dinner. You all actually went to dinner, and he mentioned something about, if you haven't seen the marionettes, you're going to see them soon, pointing to the fact that there are tracks everywhere in the ceilings. He also had that weird doll collection, some recognizable figures, small dolls, but dolls nonetheless. You all recalled a map that you had discovered in the Boxer Hotel, room 616, amongst Abigail Wright's things. And you have like this little sketch of a potential map that gets you to the JL bottle, which you presume is J.C. Lintz, who has been referred to at various times as the author as well. You started descending into the basements. You met a woman by the name of Dorothy Dot Harris in the laundry, who was seemed to be aware of what was happening to her, that she was stuck in some kind of loop and she was just sort of resigned to it. You also found a laundry chute. Fawn specifically stood at the bottom of it, looked up, and saw herself looking down at herself, communicating with herself with a crumpled note from when she was in Esther Samagina's household. And finally, as you guys continued to descend into the basements further, wandered about some halls, and you heard the sound of like sloshing water, opened a door. And you're in a room now with a very large antique tub. You can see on the ground is Asa Darabandi. You've met him before a couple times. And you can see that there is a child's body that is floating in the bathtub. We are going to go ahead and start right there. That's what you see.
It remind me when we met this guy? Or we've just heard of him?
Dorchester House. I think it was Chelsea who came in contact with him. I'm not sure who else was there, but I know Chelsea at least was. But you've read about him.
I think immediately, like, Fawn's just going to go after the body in the tub.
Okay. So you run over towards the tub. So
Absolutely.
you hear Asadar Bondi kind of like babbling a little bit to himself. You sprint across the tiled floor. You hear the splashing of the water under your feet. And you reach out and you try to grab the body. As you do, you are suddenly plunged into the water, Fawn, which is much wider and deeper than you think it should be. Go ahead and roll a strength ×5 roll as you are being sucked down in, almost as if somebody is drowning you in the tub itself. This is at -20, but I still think that's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just get yanked down into the tub as you reach down into it, and with a quick, sudden, like old woman strength, just whip yourself back out. You can see your hair, your face covered in kind of this dark water that's dripping down. Your clothes are beginning to be damp. You can feel the air that was suddenly taken from you begin to return. And you're standing over top of the body that's kind of still... Actually, as you return back out, you look down and you can see that, the water is still there. The body's still kind of floating.
I'm going to try again to grab the body.
Same thing happens. You're just almost as if there's some force ripping you down into the tub.
I'm going to turn around and yell at the rest of them. Like,
can't. You've already been sucked into the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll that strength -20. Strength ×5 -20.
Still a success. 42 and 80.
As you get ripped out, every time you come out, you can feel like something kind of in your throat. So the first time it was like you were able to kind of spit out and it looked like water, just like you had swallowed a few. This time, you and everybody else watching, as Fawny begin to vomit on the ground, and it's not just the water, but it's hair and sand. And when you like kind of right yourself back up and you look down, the body in the tub is gone. Go ahead and roll sand.
Yeah. 21 over 20 fail.
That's a shame. Roll a d6.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Check in on your disorders, as one of them should be kicking in right now, whichever one you think applies. What are the rest of you doing? As you all of you see, by the way, this happened to her. She gets yanked down in. It happens incredibly fast. She spits some water out, dives. She reaches out again and just gets sucked down into the tub, and then she comes back out and starts vomiting. What are the three of you doing? Asa is literally leaning against the wall on the ground. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. Just sort of babbling to himself. It's unnatural.
Let's see. Vetzel, what are you doing?
I'll pull Fawn away from the tub.
Okay. You just sort of gently kind of move her back away from the tub. It still has water in it, but the body is no longer there, and you can see that too, Vessel.
Considering I nearly drowned in a tub,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm gonna approach the tub at all.
Okay.
Does he have like his red book? Because I know he was given a red book. Is that in the room anywhere?
Yeah, you don't see anything else in here. It's literally, actually, make an N times 5 roll.
21 over 85 success.
As you start scanning the room, looking for signs of a book or anything like that, you suddenly realize you've seen this room before. This very room. And it takes you a moment, but then it dawns on you. 20 years ago, when you were in the McAllister building, you were interrogating a comic artist by the name of Louis Post. And you were kind of looking through some sketches here and there. Really gory, grotesque sketches. And one of them was a room much like this. Giant tub, water spilling over, bodies of children kind of floating in it. And this exact scene, you look down and you can see that there's Fawn's vomit on the ground, the mixture of hair and sand, like it wafts into your nose, and maybe that's what helps the memory somehow. And you can visualize the kind of the charcoal sketching itself and seeing that same lump of mixture of sand and hair and dirt and water on the ground. And you look down, you can see in the shoe of Asa Darabandi kind of partially extended out from the wall where he's leaning, and you remember that in the bottom left-hand corner of the charcoal sketch. All of this just starts coming and flooding back to you, this whole exact scene, exactly the way it was sketched in Louis Post's charcoal sketchbook.
Shit.
You can go ahead and roll sand now.
Yeah. If you weren't gonna tell me to, I'm like, I deserve to. That's a failure.
Yeah, it just take one in this case. Unnatural, so. Or, yeah. But you look around and you do not see a book, but you do hear him just kind of babbling. The king, he told me to kill the children. I don't want to kill the children anymore. I don't want to kill the children. I don't. And he just kind of looks up like this far away eye, look in his eyes, like just almost looking past you or looking at you, but almost through you, like desperate look, helplessness on his face. And he just keeps saying that over and over. And he's like, I had the dreams again. I had the dreams. I don't want the dreams anymore. I don't want the dreams.
I'll ask him, why does the king want you to do this?
Why does the king want anything to happen? I don't presume to know his intentions. I don't know. I just keep having the dream. I want the dream gone. I just want them dead. I want the dreams dead. I want them dead. Oh! Will you kill them? He kind of reaches out and like a death grip on your wrist. Like, will you kill them? I can help you. I can help you. If you can help me, if you can kill them, I can help you. I know things about this place. I do. I can help you. Oh, but you have to help me first.
Tell me about your dreams and I'll consider it.
I see the children, the ones I'm supposed to drown. They show up in my head. I see their faces. And he just starts like weeping, and he just grips your wrist even tighter. You can feel like the chewed away fingernails just grinding into your skin at this point, as he just is kind of losing it here and there. Please, I can help. I can help you. We help each other. You help me, I help you. You help me, I help you. You help me, I help you.
That sounds good. How about, do you know anything about the labyrinth?
Oh, yes. You want your bottle? Yes, yes. We all want the bottle, don't we? We all want them. Yes, yes. I know the man, the one who controls the labyrinth. And if you, and I can tell you where to find him, and he can take you there. Yes, but only if you help me first.
What do you need?
I need a favor. Just a small favor. That is all. Just a favor. That's all. Just one small favor. A favor for a favor.
We'll go on.
In the basements down here, there's a ballroom. There's a ballroom with so many puppets on strings. They just hang strings in the darkness to the ceiling, and they just so many. There's one I need you to find, and I need you to smash it to bits. Just destroy it. Just rip it apart, every little bit of it, and bring me what's inside. That's it. That's all. You just destroy a puppet. That's it. And then you bring it to me, and I help you. That's all. Simple. And then I won't have the dreams, and you'll find your bottle, and you'll be out and through.
Who's this puppet, or what does it look like?
Well, it's my aunt, but I won't say any more about it, but she's in gray hair, blue dress, once very dyed black hair, and so its roots are gray. You'll know her when you see her, I promise you. I promise you, yes. But you can do this. You're very capable. All of you very capable. Look at you all, so very capable. She rushed over to save the child. So very capable. This is how you save more children. This right here, because I can't stop. He won't let me unless you help me. Unless you kill the dreams. Kill them. If you kill them, I won't have the dreams. If I don't have the dreams, I don't drown the children. You see? Yes.
We've been told not to go to the ballroom. Is there something you're not telling us?
So, what do you mean told not to go? You're not supposed to be down here at all, but yet we're here, aren't we? We're explorers, adventurers. If we're pushing the boundaries of existence, of knowledge, of everything down here. No one wants us down here. Don't be a fool. Sometimes, if you want to get out and through, you have to do things that you know aren't quite the right thing to do or the safe thing to do. But you're all very capable. Look at you all. Look with your... you have weapons and strength and numbers, and it's just a measly room filled with puppets. That's all. That's it. Just smash it to bits. That's all. Yeah. Oh.
Jeff?
Yeah.
I have a note, and it says his aunt was a bad influence and kicked out.
Yeah.
Could I roll to see if I remember why she was considered a bad influence?
I mean, no, I don't think you have to roll. I think you would genuinely. I don't know if you got like too many specifics, but I think generally you like.
I have that his aunt and mom had a falling out.
The aunt and mother had a falling out, but mainly they had a falling out because because of him. Like there's, from what you can tell, the aunt was a bad influence because like she was kind of egging on this idea of like him being a chosen one and like kind of cult like imagery and things like that.
Chelsea is gonna ask him if he knows how many children he's killed so far.
So far, they come and I kill, and then another one, and then I loop back to the beginning and I start again. Dozens, I think. Dozens. I never wanted to. But I was just told to, and the dreams and the voices, and the dreams and the voices. It was never me. It was never me. But you can stop it all. You can stop all of it and help us both in the process. Yes. You want the labyrinth? I can give you the man who controls the labyrinth. I could. Yes.
So, by the way, Fawn is over by the tub. So what triggered for her was depersonalization disorder.
Okay.
So you basically just see her at the edge of the tub, just sort of staring down into the tub, and she's just sort of just kind of running through like, Ariana, Sydney, Ella, Sydney, Ella, Ariana, and so she's just like staring into the water, just running through.
As you're staring down at the water, there's this light up in the ceiling, some sort of recessed halogen. You see it flicker a bit. You see figures moving about. In the surface reflection, you see yourself. Maybe you see Album. Maybe you see Chelsea. But with a flicker, you suddenly see the faces of your nieces in the water, side by side, leaning over your shoulder. And then the flicker of the light goes out, and it's back, and it's Chelsea, it's Album again.
Yeah, she's not engaging with Asa at this point. She's just staring off in the water.
Album, what are you up to, man?
So seeing Fawn in this state, Album's gonna go over to her and like tentatively put a hand on her shoulder and see if he can like snap her out of it.
Was it psychotherapy or psychology? What was that? Was that role?
Yeah, because we are in a calm state, like we're not in the middle of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You guys are. You're not in a danger or anything right now. But yeah, you can go ahead and roll that.
Alrighty. That is a fail.
Okay. Yeah. She doesn't react. Shrugs it off a bit. You can maybe even feel a tightening in her shoulders a bit as you rest your hand. She doesn't. I mean, you're looking at her. She's not self-harming. Like, she's soaking wet, but you can kind of see that her eyes kind of shift a bit as she looks down at the water, as if she still sees something. And when you look down, it's dark, it's brackish water, but you don't see anything in the tub. But you can see her eyes just kind of shift, pupils dilate, retract a bit.
Was there any other furniture in this room of any kind?
There's a small like countertop where like there probably was there's like a sink, but it doesn't seem to be there's any fixtures or anything on it.
Okay. Alm will try to at least just lead Fawn away from the tub, closer to like the doorway, and sit her down next to that, so that she doesn't get sucked back in the tub again.
Okay. Do you let that happen, Fawn?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I haven't seen, like, if he does it at a time when I'm not seeing the reflection of my nieces, then I'll just like, as long as I'm still within eye shot of the water.
I would say like it flickers and it happens like quickly, but then it goes back. Like it's that little flicker of the light above you, and then it goes away.
And she's basically just sort of shivering, just kind of huddled and shivering.
All right. So Vessel, he's got this vice grip on your wrist. He's a very small man, by the way, and he's not like you could very easily pry his hand away. He's not physically imposing against you in the least, but he looks up at you with desperation, and he's just like, "Please, I don't want to do this anymore. The only way I can stop if you help. That's all. I need your help, please."
And I need yours, so if I help you with this, better uphold your promise.
I will. Bring me back whatever you find inside. Whatever is in that puppet. that you rip apart whatever is inside is mine. Yes. Yes. And I will tell you where to find he who controls the labyrinth.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And he just like kind of grovels at that point and just is like, thank you. Okay.
I'll let the others know that we got a puppet to find.
All right.
Yeah,
So what do we do?
All of our interactions with puppets thus far has been great.
Cathartic, right? Give you a moment of catharsis. So what do you say, Vessel? Do you convince them to do it? Do you guys all leave? Like what happens now?
Right. So I'll let them know that if we find this puppet and what's inside of it, he can let us into the labyrinth.
He can't. He'll tell us who's supposedly in control of the labyrinth. Do we really want to believe him right now?
That's where we find it ourselves.
And like Chelsea just kind of like looks down at Asa and she's like, yeah, a child murderer. Really?
Roll
Yeah,
human.
doesn't...
Roll human, Chelsea.
Okay. 73 over 61 fail.
Yeah. He's so
Do we have
mad.
any
It's hard
rerolls
to get
left
a
from
read.
last time?
We have one left from last week.
I say
welcome
it's worth
to
a
it.
shot.
61 is
to
pretty
reroll?
high.
Okay, I'll do it.
Here comes the 80 something.
No, it's not.
Crit
Don't
fail
jinx
99.
me.
Here we go. Crit fail 99.
5
Ooh.
success.
Okay. He is quite deranged. But he does not seem to be lying to you. You don't get any sense of like it's just looking at, especially you. You're an analyst. Like you've.
Yeah.
I mean, like I know you probably were more data than people, but you have a fairly high human score. You get the sense that at the very least he believes everything he's saying, and you sense no deception from him. He's crazy. Whether what he's saying is true, obviously, is hard to discern, and you won't know that for certain until the time comes. But you don't sense deception from him.
You have to really go into the creepy ballroom.
Didn't you want to go there anyways? Now's your chance.
Yeah, until I learned that it's loaded with marionettes.
Not the first time you've seen a ballroom filled with marionettes, by the way.
That is true. Yeah,
Or a warehouse filled with mannequins.
that was you.
And that was fine.
That was fine. That was great.
It just aged a car, that's all.
Yeah, I guess we'll kind of just leave him here. Just walk
Okay.
away.
Okay. So you head out and you begin sort of searching for this ballroom some more. Who would we say is leading the way? As kind of like
Not
taking
Fawn.
lead.
Somebody's gonna have
Right.
to direct Fawn.
Right.
I'll take care of that.
Okay. Who would we say is just sort of like out front, kind of
Yeah, I can lead the way. Maybe like look up these tracks on the ceiling. Maybe they lead to the ballroom because they're marionettes that ride them.
roll a navigation test. And you can well, it's just flat navigation actually.
All right.
Sorry.
Success 50.
Yeah, you kind of make a really good point as you start following the tracks in the ceiling. But the more and more you see these tracks, the more and more you realize they go everywhere. Like every room, every hallway, every dead end in a hallway, every closet, every nook and cranny of every place in this basement, you find these tracks. And you guys wander for a while. You're not sure exactly how long time kind of slips from you. You look down at your phones and you realize it's not counting properly. They're all running perilously low on battery. And you're at it for a little bit. At a certain point, Fawn, You start to kind of snap out of it. You kind of get a memory, albums there with you the whole time. You kind of look over and you see the familiar face, and it resets you. And it's right around at that point where you find this sort of nexus of thousands of tracks, Vessel, and you start to follow them. And eventually leads you to this set of these ornate double doors, these beautifully ornate double doors, except they're old. They almost look antiqued in the sense that the paint is peeling here and there, but in a way that adds like character and depth as opposed to dilapidation.
Have we seen them before?
They do have a striking resemblance, in fact, to a time back in 1995. The night floors, here and there as you were wandering. A lot of this looks extraordinarily familiar, but in a different state, a different state of condition, state of disrepair. It looks even better here and there. Like it's kept, like upkeep is maintained. And it's then that you notice these set of double doors, Vessel, and you can see that this whole vast number of tracks leads into this set of double doors. Do you enter?
Yeah, I'll see if it opens it up.
Yeah, you mess with the double doors. You go up to them, and a simple push on the doors, and they creak open. As you look around, there's lights coming from various corners of the room, but it's nonetheless a fairly dark environment with pockets of light from unnoticed or uncertain lights here and there dangling from the ceiling. And when you look up, the ceiling is quite tall. There's these dark spots. You see strings everywhere, hundreds of marionettes dangling from the wall here, strings running up into these tangles in the tracked ceiling. You can see that many of these are naked. They're just completely stark. Some are clad as bellhops. You can see a few as normal people. Vessel and Chelsea, as you guys are moving down the array, you see yourselves. You see marionettes dressed in the exact clothes that you remember wearing at different parts of your life. Chelsea, you see yourself. You see a marionette dressed in the same clothes that you wore when you think back to the fateful day in around 95, 96, where you spent a year or one afternoon reading the play The King in Yellow in a Virginia motel. You see another in the same clothing that you had when you were brutally knifed down in the middle of the Boxer Hotel. Vessel, you see one that's got the same strange homemade paper Kevlar vest that you put together outside of the Barbist home. Fawn, you notice numerous outfits on these puppets that are wearing the same clothes that you saw piled up as sewing projects in Esther Samagina's home. I need the three of you to make sand rolls. Album, you're okay.
Fail.
Success. I've seen enough marionettes of myself, Jeff.
Fair enough.
This doesn't faze me.
Nothing like this. They have bazookas now. How'd you do, Vessel?
Oh, I failed.
Fawn, take a point.
50 luck. Riches upon riches.
Fawn, take a point of luck. Vessel.
Take a point of sand.
Or excuse me, take a point of sand, excuse me.
Okay.
From a natural. Chelsea, are you in your... You also take a point from... Yours is from helplessness. One's the minimum, so take one.
Okay.
Vessel.
Yeah, this
you know what
triggers
to
a bit
do.
of PTSD in me. Like these memories are sort of becoming more clear, and I'm getting pretty much shocked or stuck in spot from like the memories of the armor, the house, the machine that broke up.
Okay. You guys look over, you see Vessel's, maybe a hand kind of starts to shake, a little twitch in the head a bit here and there. Maybe his hand reaches down to his sidearm, something like that. Looks a little concerned. What do you guys do?
None of them are moving yet.
No, you
she
don't. No,
says.
no. They're all still. They're all still.
So Fawn, having sort of been out of it a little bit, is gonna look to the other two and be like, I don't remember. What are we doing here? What are we looking for?
So apparently we're looking for a particular mannequin for this Asa Darabandi individual. There's something inside of it that he wants that will presumably stop him from the quote loop that he's been put in by the king.
Well, we
Unless
should do that because there's kids in tubs, and I can't take kids in tubs. We've got to stop it. So what are we looking for?
Blue dress, gray or black hair with gray roots. That's about all he gave us.
It's his aunt.
Oh, that's right. There was stuff with. Okay. Well, then let's. So, are there like aisles or organization here to divvy things up a little
It's a
bit?
massive tangle. But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you could quadrant it up a bit. Anybody who's looking, go ahead and roll a search test.
Okay. And this is -20. So yeah, that's just a
How
critical.
come you're
fail
rolling at a -20?
because of my depersonalization disorder.
Oh. Oh, I also failed.
Good night.
Okay. Vessel,
No.
are you searching as well?
Yeah, but I'm not searching for what they're searching for. I'm searching for Exeter's puppet.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Also roll search.
Success.
Okay.
Oh, sure, you succeed.
Of course he does, right? Okay. You spread out a little bit and you take different sections of this mass and tangle of marionettes, these puppets hanging down from the walls, from the ceiling. And you start looking around. Who had the crit fail?
Me.
Fawn, you see one that looks similar to how, like, dressed in blue. Can't quite see the hair. And you reach out to kind of turn it a little bit to see if you can see its face.
Mm-hmm.
As you move it, you can see it starts to move itself. Go ahead and roll sand.
No. Oh, fail.
All at once, all of the marionettes in the room suddenly lurch to life, and they begin to surround each and every one of you.
Oh no.
Vessel, you manage to get to the corner of the room and you see a dark-skinned puppet with a red silk robe and what look like burn scars on the wrists. And as you walk up to it, it spins and lurches out at you. Chelsea, you're going through and you're looking for any signs of this gray woman, and suddenly you find yourself within a nest of Chelsea puppets. In fact, there are a total... Hang on. There are a total of 2 that leap out at you.
Oh no.
Album. Album, you're kind of isolated, and only one And as you're looking at it, you just see what looks like, as far as you can tell, almost like a cable repairman's outfit. Like a giant set of coveralls. Sort of dirty blonde hair, this wig sitting askance, and it's just sort of swaying its head off to the side. And then as you're standing next to it, the head suddenly rights and lunges out at you. Fawn, as you are staring at, you twist the puppet around and you can see that this is in fact the blue dress, the gray hair. You're fairly confident this is it. But as you move and it begins to shift and lurch around you, oh my God, this and one more just leap out at you. You guys got so lucky with the rolls I was just doing. What are your dex scores?
14.
14 for Fawn. What do you got there, Album?
13.
Okay. Vessel, what do you got?
At 10.
And then what do you have there, Chelsea?
10.
Okay. Let's see. These also have 10. Fawn, you see this thing amble to life, and a second one that was just to the side of it lunges out as you as well. So just to recap, there's what looks like, hang on, let me go through this. 1 on Album. There are 2 on Chelsea. There are 2 on Fawn. And there are, did I roll for you actually, Vessel? No, I didn't. I only rolled. Okay. Vessel, there are 3, including the puppet of Exeter, and they all lunge out at you. Fawn, you're up first. What do you want to do? And they're all on strings. They're tangled up in this mess. What do you want to do, Fawn?
So what is nearby? Is there anything else nearby other than marionettes on strings?
It's a large, empty ballroom to the point where you're not even sure you can see the other side, which disappears into darkness. There's the door. There's everybody else there. You guys are within shouting distance of each other, and you could, your action could move to somebody else relatively easily, but you all are somewhat separated.
Okay, and this is the one that we were told to smash.
You are confident this is the one that you were told to smash.
Can I
Indeed.
try? Gosh, I don't even know if this is gonna work. Can I try to like? Try to like spin her? Like if she's hanging on string, can I try to like spin so that maybe I can like hit her from behind? Trying to take advantage of the strings to like reduce her like mobility.
Okay. Yeah, so like while she's still becoming ambulatory, you want to try to spin and disorient her and smash her at the same time. Okay, what do you have to smash with? Now remember, you guys all arrived at the hotel so whatever you had when you were being chased to the streets is likely what you still have. As far as I know, no one asked or requested or found any extra items last week in the hotel brothel bin, so you should really just have what you had on yourself. Scissors, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think that I have anything. So as
You
long
had
as
a
I have
mag light at one set
yeah,
at some point.
as long as
Yeah,
I
you
still
had
have
a
my
mag light.
bag, the mag light is still in my bag.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So it's really just a question of like, can I spin her, grab the mag light, and hit all at once?
Yeah, I'll say you're still gonna roll a melee attack. I mean, this is all kind of part of one action. You're right next to it, but yeah, go ahead and roll a melee attack.
Oh goodness, I'm not so good at that. Strength times 5, I'm okay with. Not so good with melee weapons.
It's a melee attack. That's good and all that.
Success 27 under 33.
Okay. Let's say you're doing your mag light. What did we say? Was it D6? Is that what we gave you? Because
That means
D4 is unarmed, so I think it's or D4 minus 1 maybe.
I
think we did D6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was either D6 or D8, but I'd have to go back to my notes to find it. So I'll start with
D8 sounds pretty over. I think that's, I don't know. Maybe we did that, but that sounds big right now. So say D6. So roll D6.
5.
Okay. So you spin it around, and you smash into the back, and you hear the sound of like the metal of your maglite flashlight as you smash into the back. You hear the crunch of like porcelain, but also the ting of metal on metal, as if the construction of these marionettes is a mixture of kind of a porcelain adder shell with like a metallic skeleton on the inside. And you think you crushed through the porcelain, but that metal skeleton is kind of keeping it intact. But that is your turn.
Correction. Because of my depersonalization disorder, everything's a -20, so I actually missed.
Okay, that's a shame.
Because I've got a 37, which means, or 33, so I would have had to get less than this 13.
Okay.
So I actually missed.
All right. So then it's going to go to Album. Album, you only got one on you, but you immediately see them all are beginning to like shuffle and ambulate. They're tangled up with each other, so you're not sure exactly whether they can easily chase on those tracks. Some might, but like there's so much tangling going on right here, you're not 100% sure. But you can hear everybody else in the room kind of shout or say something at the same time, so like you're aware that all of this is happening at the same time. So what would you like to do, Album?
So the strings that connect them to the ceiling, do they look like they can be cut with a knife I have in my pocket? I imagine it's just like, like a small little like 4-inch blade that folds up.
Yeah, I think you take a look at it, you're fairly confident. It's just a question of, can you get up there without them grabbing you? So I would ask for a dex ×5 if you want to try to swipe it. And so that would be what I would say. And then, and so we'll say like there's probably like, 4 strings. And so we'll do a dex ×5, and then you can roll a d4 to see if you cut all the, how many strings you cut, something like that.
So that would be a success with the dex ×5.
Yeah,
so 49 or 65.
Yeah, you swipe up and you roll a d4, and there's 4 of these strings that are keeping this thing up.
I got 3.
And you take 3, and this thing suddenly lurches down, and one of its arms get yanked up as the rest of the body is kind of flailing around, as one arm is still kind of controlled, and the rest, and like the legs, the arms, the shoulder, the head, are all now lurching about in kind of very awkward situation. Be very difficult for this thing to kind of reach out and do anything to you, but it still could. But you've definitely disabled it to a degree. Okay, Vessel and Chelsea. What do you, either or, whatever order? Chelsea, you got 2 around you. Vessel, you have 3, including Exeter's puppet.
All the shouting that's going on across the room, I'll remember that we're after this woman puppet. So I'll come back to sort of in reality.
Okay.
And go run over and help.
Okay. So if you're going to do that and you're going to try to like push your way over towards where Fawn is, I imagine Fawn, did you shout out that you knew that you found it or something like that?
Yeah, I would have. As soon as it started moving, I would have basically been like, I found her and she's awake.
Yeah, roll a dex ×5, Vessel, to try to navigate the arms that are reaching out to grab you and slow you down or trip you as you try to push through this huge tangle.
I got a
and
success.
You do. Yeah, you do. You manage, like, a few of them reach out and grab you, tug at your shirt. You can feel and hear, like, the tear of fabric. Like, one of them kind of gets you in the eye a little bit as you're passing. You see a leg extend out and kind of get you in the gut, but you quickly shove it away, and you can see like those little metal, momentum balls. They just kind of bounce into another, and they swing, and you just run over, and you are next to Fawn now, and you can see the blue, like the light blue dress and the gray hair with the black roots of the puppet that you need. You can also see that there's another one next to her as well, and they're both reaching out and grabbing her. So that's your turn.
Yeah, so when I do a skill or stat check while I have my cute episode, I have to do 1d4 willpower.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll it. Here, take your 2 willpower. Chelsea.
So I've already established I have my purse on me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Previous.
I'm not looking to nickel and dime anyone.
Yeah. But in my own personal purse, I'm a little weird. So Chelsea would also be weird. I actually carry scissors and a knife. So I just want to grab whatever I can get first and try and at least snip one of these.
Why does Chelsea carry scissors?
Why not?
Not saying you can't have them. I'm just curious. Why does Chelsea carry scissors?
Chelsea carries scissors because I carry scissors.
Oh, okay, because Ashley carries scissors. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the same thing. Same thing as Album. If you want to lash out, there's two around you. Both of them look like you. One of them looks like young Virginia you, and one of them looks like older, just got, is about to get stabbed. It's the puppet that Album the others found after, like, you were wrapped up within the bathroom curtain. Like, that's what you're staring at.
Yeah, that one would be most frightening to me.
Okay.
And that would be the one that I would try and get rid of first.
Okay, go for it.
So you said dex roll?
It's a dex roll, and then if you're successful, you roll a d4 and see if you can. And there's, we'll say, 4 strings on each of them.
Failure.
Unfortunately, the people watching tonight want you all to die, and no one's helped you. So there's no rerolls. Just you
It's okay.
reach up and slash, and as you reach towards one, you can feel the porcelain metal hands of the other just reach out and grab your shoulders. So the young Chelsea holds you down as you try to jump up and slash at the strings above the head of the older Chelsea.
And like at this point, the rest of you will, like, Chelsea's panicked and she's screaming.
So
Like,
as
this
you're
has already
screaming,
happened.
they're going to start. Okay.
They just start
So-
Fortnite dancing on you.
So a couple of these are going to swarm around Chelsea, and they're going to make an attack. All right. Oh boy. Chelsea, you are going to take. Oh goodness. Okay, you're good. You take 2 points of damage as one of them lunges out while I'm going to say that the other one is still just kind of holding you and giving the other one a bonus. And so, like, the older one just lunges out, its hand suddenly flattening, the fingers having almost like pointed tips and kind of impaling you as almost like a spear shot right into your chest. And you can feel the blade cut down into you. Then around Fawn, there's 2 of you there. I'm going to 50-50 this. 1 to 3, it's going to be Vessel. Oh, I'm sorry. This is on... Actually, I probably should keep it. This is going to be at Vessel. So Vessel, these are going to swarm around you. So the 2 here are going to swarm together. And we'll attack. I'm rolling rocks. That's another success. And... oh boy. That's 6 points of damage, Vessel. Yeah.
Goodness.
Yep. The good news is that the good news is I failed my lethality roll.
Okay.
These attacks have a lethality of 10%, which means when I roll my D100, my 2D10s, if I roll under a 10 on my damage, it's an auto kill. If I roll over a 10, I just add the 2 numbers together, and I've rolled very low so far. So. And then, so that's Fawn. That's, so I've done, I'm sorry, no, I was, who did I hit so far? I hit Chelsea and I hit Fawn. And I hit,
Vessel.
I hit Vessel, because Vessel and Fawn are next to each other now. That's right. And then Album, the one is going to reach out at you, but I'm going to do this at a significant, I'm going to put this at a -40. So, well, I shouldn't put it at a -40. Basically, I need to hit 10 or under to hit. We're going to say that. So this has got to hit as it's trying to, like, wildly slash out at you. So I'll roll this out in the open. 75. It's going to miss as it's trying to ineffectually. There's more that are starting to lurch and enclose upon everybody. So you can see that these pockets, these swarms are beginning. So you don't have all day before there's hundreds in here, and eventually they could begin to overwhelm you. Back up to the top of the action round, we've got Fawn at 14. You've got Vessel standing next to you now. He just took a blow that looked to be meant for you. What do you want to do?
So mechanically, I just realized that my unarmed combat is actually higher than my melee weapon roll. So I feel like I'm just gonna start punching this thing because that's actually slightly more successful, possibly. For
Are
me
you
do
trying to
that.
punch it, or are you trying to rip it down? Like, what are you looking to do here?
I mean, if I can just try to just rip it down, like I would do that because I'm relatively strong.
Yeah, I would say we'll do a similar thing. Roll your unarmed combat if that's if that's your best roll. If your strength times 5 is better, you can do that instead. And then we'll do sort of the same thing like we were doing with cutting them. We'll roll a d4, see if you were able to snap the strings as you yank them down.
Okay. If I can yank down with a strength times 5, then I just need to hit under a 60. So I'll give that a shot. Oh, it's a critical failure of 100.
You wrap your neck around the string and accidentally hang yourself.
So,
Bad.
jeez, I didn't hear the part at the end. I was like, I agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. Oh, no, she didn't hang herself. But I am going to say that you get yourself wrapped and tangled within some of these, and you are effectively stunned. So next round, you are going to need to roll like a dex to unravel yourself because you are literally caught within the wires at this point. So one of your arms is now caught up. It's not going well. Album, you're up.
So, as I look around this room, is there anything that I could turn into a makeshift Molotov?
Roll a luck test.
Luck be with me. Fuck you, luck.
You look around for any signs of maybe like champagne or booze or some kind of like bar. You do not. Like there's occasionally a table here or two, but they're dusty and they're old and they don't appear to have anything on them.
Any like would this roll also count for like candles or anything?
Yeah, I would say basically anything that would have helped you. Like this
Okay.
isn't here. That's why I did the luck. It was just a 50-50.
Sure. Okay, but you mentioned that the vast majority of these marionettes are like tangled up in like a big like rope essentially.
Yeah, they are trying desperately to untangle themselves and join into the swarming that's going on in this room right now. Basically, you have a clock on this before you guys are royally overwhelmed.
All right, well, what Alvin wants to try and do is climb up this rope somehow and just start sawing away at it with his knife to just basically, nuke the marionettes.
So you want to climb up like one of the big tangles of groups and see if you can just take out one of the ticking clocks, essentially?
Cut the whole bundle of...
Okay. All right, so if you're trying to climb up, let's roll a dex times 5, unless you have a skill that you think applies, but I think dex times 5 is fine.
Yes, this would be my physics skill because I'm defying gravity.
Dex times 5, the climb up.
29.
You do. Vessel, a lot of your alertnesses are very high, so I would say everybody here with like a 40 or above alertness, you like look around and you can see old man Album suddenly just using this, like there's a tangle of like a dozen of these things that are kind of spinning around, pushing off each other, trying to untangle their limbs and their cords, and there's Album scaling the side of it and trying to reach up to what looks like this grouping of spun together wires for these marionettes.
It took you all 20 years to learn my secret talent, but Album does rock climbing for a hobby, so...
There you go. Okay.
Nice.
Vessel, it comes to you. You just got stabbed and it hurt. And you've got this thing in front of you that looks like the one that was described that you need to find. But you also see that Fawn has somehow managed to get herself caught up in it as it shifted at the last second as Fawn was reaching out to try to just rip it down. And as she reached up to rip it down, the marionette just took its two arms and just basically bear hugged Fawn at this point and wrapped their arm strings around Fawn. So Fawn's stuck.
Is this the same marionette that's been cut down at all, or is it still like hanging there?
No, that was Album's.
Oh, okay. So then I'll just try what Fawn did. I don't think yank both of them down.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Unarmed or strength times 5, whatever you prefer is fine with me.
Successfully unarmed.
All right, roll a d4. You pop one of the strings. You hear just a pluck, and raining down from the ceiling above, you can see the anchor that was in the ceiling suddenly rattle down and slam on the ground. These wires, they're not strings. They're like literally they're like metallic wires, like really strong fishing lines or something like that. And there's this anchor piece that was like on a track, and you can see the sort of the teeth have been ripped out of the track, and it falls down to the ground. It immediately lurches off to the side. One of its arms goes flying off Fawn. Fawn, you're still going to have to make a roll, but you'll get a bonus when you try to break free. But you haven't quite pulled it down entirely. Okay. You're one of the 4 needed, essentially, to rip her free. Then it's going to be Chelsea.
I want to get away from myself.
Dex times 5 to try to get yourself out of here without getting tangled.
17 over 50.
You turn and you bolt, you scramble, you feel one of them grab the back of your hair and it just sort of tug, and you feel it rip and wrench free, and you reach back and you can feel blood from where a chunk of your hair has been ripped out from behind the back of your ear. Once or twice, one of these bellhop dressed marionettes grabs you by the arm, but you quickly shave it off, just smack it away. Where do you head?
If Vessel and Fawn are kind of near the doors, I'm gonna go between them and the doors.
Okay, so you're gonna try to put yourself between the doors and where Vessel and Fawn are, keeping yourself away from any of
from
the
marionettes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because she's freaked out. This is awful. This is a new nightmare.
Okay.
It's awful.
All right, so then the marionettes are going to go. Roll something really quick. Okay. All right, so over by where Fawn and Vessel are, and they're tangling up with this one that's dressed like the puppet that you're sent to find. There is a second one here that's trying to assist and trying to attack and wrench free. Its arm extends outward, and it's going to again stab at one of the 2 of you. 1 to 2, it'll be Vessel. It's Fawn this time. So as you're trying to pull free from the one with the gray hair, one of these bellhop dressed ones lunges his arm at you, trying to pierce your torso. I need a 35 or under. I rolled a crit fail with a 44. So as this thing reaches out and tries to stab you, you manage to shift slightly out of the way, and its arm pierces through the body of the one that you're now hanging on to.
Right.
I'm gonna roll damage against it instead.
So it does damage against the blue dress lady?
Yeah, so it's a lethality rating of 10%. So what it's going to do is, so it has the potential to kill it outright. Yeah, it's impale attack, which has a 35% chance to hit, lethality of 10%, armor piercing of 2. Oh, I keep forgetting, instead of dex, by the way, you can roll dodge too, as you're running away.
I'll take
Okay.
any day.
Okay. Boy, those are brutal. Oh my god, that's terrible. I'm sorry, I'm just reading some of this stuff. Oh, it's so terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna roll D100. I'm gonna do a D100 for its lethality.
Okay.
26 is low. That's 8 points of damage, however, because you add the 2 numbers together, so it takes a total of 8 points of damage. Not enough to deplete it, but there's now a giant hole, basically right where its heart would be if it had one, as it impales its marionette mate. Album, you managed to climb on top of them. I'm gonna see if one of them can break free and attack you. So I'm gonna do like a dex check for them. Dex times 5, which is just a 50-50. They have Dex 10, so it's going to be I need to roll a 50 or under to see if one of them is loose enough, or a couple of them are loose enough to get you. And if they are not, then you don't even take an attack. 49, just under. So there will be an attempt on you. So same thing, 35% as one of them, as they're kind of following you, climbing up on top of their own mass and tangle of marionettes. 35 or under. 82 is a miss. Okay. And we go back to the top of the round. Fawn, you are partially broken free. You just missed dying. What do you want to do?
So can I, since I'm hanging on here anyway, and now there's a hole, can I, like, while I'm hanging out, just try to, like, punch through it and not try
What do
to
you
free
mean punch
myself
through it?
this round? Well, like, I'm hanging on the marionette, so instead of trying to, like, get myself off the marionette, like, while I'm here, can I just see the hole that just got created by the other marionette and just try to, like, increase damage?
Or search for the item in the chest cavity that we're trying to get out of the marionette.
Or that, sure. I don't know.
You tell me what you want to do.
Yeah, that's the smarter thing to do.
You
Can I
want to
try
reach in, so your action is to reach into the chest and see if you can find whatever's inside the chest. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I understand
roll-
I'm hanging on and I'm not in an ideal
You're
position
not
for
going to be
this,
free
so-
of it, just so you know. Like you're not going to you're going to be able to do this, but you're still going to be stuck to it.
Yeah, that's fine, because if I
Okay.
can find what it is and destroy it, then we'll have done what we need to do and everybody else can run
You need to
away.
return it. What you need to find is you need to return that to Asa. Is the agreement.
Okay.
You need to destroy the puppet and take
Destroy
from
the
it. You need to
puppet, take the-
destroy the puppet and take from its chest and give to Asa whatever is in its chest.
Okay.
So with
Reach
that
in.
clarification, do you still want to do this?
Yeah, because we still need to find the thing, so yeah.
Okay, so you're going to reach into his chest. Roll Dex times 5.
Hold on, it's a minus 20 because of the other thing, so it's actually a fail.
You reach inside, and your arm is like up to the elbow, and you're feeling around. It's like the inside of the guitar, but you're also feeling what almost seems like stuffing here and there, like cushion. You at one point your fingers move across something loose and metal, and you just barely lose it as it just stumbles off your fingertips, and you can hear it thump thump thump, kind of sink down further into the torso, like down into the stomach area.
Damn
But
it.
you were not able to reach it. Album, you're up.
Am I at the right height to start sawing away at all of their strings?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a d4. I don't think since you climbed up here, you don't need to roll an attack because it's easy enough.
Okay.
So just roll a d4.
That's a 4.
So, Album, you slash out, you grab hold, and you just whoosh, 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 and all of a sudden, all 12 of these things in yourself come stumbling down like 10, 15 feet into this huge cacophony of just clacking sounds and screeching and what sounds like the cracking of porcelain, the sounds of metal on metal tinging, and you are part of this. Go ahead and roll a luck test to see whether or not you're able to tumble off of this without taking any damage.
They break your fall, maybe?
Oh, they might break his fall.
Oh, my hip!
not.
No, it's an 89.
Roll a d4 and take that much amount of damage as you stumble down. Take 2 points of damage, but you just took out like a dozen of these things. There's still a ton in here, but that's like in terms of like the clock perception of things, that's buying time for sure.
Album's gonna do his best Russell Crowe impersonation as he gets up. Are you not entertained?
holding puppet arms in both hands. Are you not entertained? Vessel, you're up, man.
Let's see if we can continue the damage on this puppet that's holding Fawn.
All right, if you want to roll your attack, go ahead and roll your attack.
Ooh, I got a crit
No.
fail.
You know what that
My
means,
Gosh.
Yeah, I failed.
but you know what else it
No.
means.
Melissa.
You're
gonna hit Melissa.
me. Yeah, it's
Nice.
only
As
fair.
you-
It's how it worked the other way.
As you attack, you hit Fawn. What are you using? Like a knife or something?
No, just unarmed fist.
Is that so? Roll your damage for unarmed. It's either D4 or D4 -1. I can't remember. It should be in your character sheet, I think.
Where would it say that?
Check your gear. Oh, it's not in here? No, I think there's a gear item for unarmed, isn't there? Yeah, there's an unarmed attack. I'm moving it over onto your character sheet now.
Okay.
1d4 minus 1 is what I said, yeah. So it's 1d4 minus 1.
Seriously?
I don't know why there's a
does he have
plus 1. That's weird. Take 3 points of damage.
Good gracious. Ow.
So you, with your hands, and you're just pounding away like fists of fury, and this huge haymaker comes like sailing out from like your right side as you're kind of keeping the other marionette at bay, stiff arming it with your left arm, and you swing down, but you're taken just off balance as the other one manages to shift your weight, and the full force of your haymaker comes down not on the neck of this marionette where you were aiming, but right in the face of your friend and ally Fawn. Fawn, you feel like a small crack. Your eye kind of goes dark for a second, and you spit blood out of your mouth as you take a big fist on the right side of your face. Chelsea.
Ow.
Fuck. Seeing that, I'll notice that like Fawn is in desperate need. I'll go up and I'll try and cut the marionette that's holding her up, that she's entangled in. Try and like swipe at her.
Okay.
Her strings.
All right. Dex times 5. Then Fawn spits the blood out in Vessel's face. That all you got, Vessel? You want to kill me? Kill me now. Okay, yeah, you swing out. Roll a d4.
2.
This thing lurches, flips downward, one arm hanging. Fawn, go ahead and roll a dex test to see if you keep your feet or if you fall prone. As 3 of the 4 connecting strings have now been severed on this one.
I failed. I fall.
And you fall prone. So Fawn, you fall prone. You don't take any damage, you just fall prone.
Okay.
Okay. The marionettes will go. I'll start with the ones by Vessel, Chelsea, and Fawn. There's now 3 choices. 1 to 2, it'll be Chelsea. 3 to 4, Vessel. 5 to 6, Fawn. Chelsea. And so the one that's still upright, not the one that fell, the one that was still part of the tag team, will turn and whip one of its almost razor-like claws at you. 35%, so 24.
Oh,
You have not gone yet, so you can choose to try to fight back or dodge. You haven't gone, so you can use your action defensively if you prefer.
Didn't I just went to...
Oh, you just
attack
went. I'm
the-
sorry. I was incorrectly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just went. My bad. Okay.
I'm gonna die.
How much health do you have?
I have 3, Jeff. I had 5. You took 2.
There's no way you're getting out of this. You're
Yeah,
dead.
I'm dying.
That's 11 points of damage.
I would have died if I even had full health.
As Chelsea, you take the full extension of this arm, just cuts right down through your neck, down across your chest. Blood spurts out, and Chelsea falls. Vessel and Fawn, Album as well. Go ahead and roll Sand.
Fail.
Fail.
Just by 1 again. Just by 1.
Also fail.
Okay. That's no good for you guys. 1 second. Just looking something up really fast. Oh boy. Poor Chelsea, right? How many times has Chelsea died now? This is gonna be...
More than 1. And you're muted.
No, I'm not muted. I just wasn't talking into
No,
the
not
mic.
you. Ashley, sorry. For a second, you were. You're back.
Just take 1. It's not like it's like you know, Fawn dying. We've seen this stuff with Chelsea tons of times.
No.
This is the second on-screen death of Chelsea. Okay.
Fawn
Find
doesn't
out
even
if it's
see it
permanent or
again
not.
because Fawn's laying face down in a pile of mannequin.
No, you're prone, which isn't the same thing as face down. It just means you're laying down. Okay.
Do my disorders stack or they take over? Like overwrite the old one?
Yeah, comorbidity is a real issue.
You just took one. You're just,
No, I don't. do the
oh,
reverse
that's
stand.
right. Yeah, yours are gonna stack.
Okay. So now I'm going to an intermittent explosive disorder, so I'm raging now as well.
You're just raging. Fair, that makes sense. Okay. Fawn, it is your turn. You feel something fall next to you. You look over and you see it's Chelsea. Bleeding out from a gash from her neck down through her chest onto the ground.
And Fawn's just gonna be like, I gotta get this out of here. Or this is all gonna be for nothing. And so she's gonna try again to reach in and get what we need to get out of this.
Okay, so I want to point out, because I think you might be taking the more difficult route. It's like hanging by one thread at this point. It's so like there's literally, it looks like it's almost going to fall down on its own. So there's only one thread left. So it's up to you whether you want to reach inside and do it, which is, you know, it's going to leave you immobile, or whether you want to yank it down or something or attack it. But it is hanging from a single thread. There's like multiple ways to kill this thing, and it feels like there's 2 or 3 different solutions that are trying to be attempted at the same time, and had 2 or 3 people focus fired on the same thing. Like, let's all cut the wires or let's all attack it. Like, you probably would have been taking it out by now, but it's taken a bunch of damage. 3 of its strings has been ripped, and you reached in and were unsuccessful. So it's got 1 string that's left, kind of keeping it connected to the ceiling. So it might make more sense for you to just try to rip it down.
Rip it down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Strength.
Strength is fine. Unarmed combat if you prefer. I don't care.
Yeah, strength. And so this is again. So I'm aiming for a 60. Success
got
to
it.
30.
You got it. And so you, boom, and you hear the pop again as another one of those strings from the, up in the darkness falls down. And so now this thing has fallen, and you have it separated. You have what you need, but you're still stuck for this turn. We'll say you could stand as well. You can, as part of your attack, you stand up and rip it down, and so you have this puppet, which is heavy, but you're strong enough to carry it.
Okay, and I'll let everyone that's left alive know that I got it down.
Okay, you shout out. Album, you hear her shouting out. You look over, you see Chelsea laying on the ground next to them, blood starting to pool. Not the first time you've seen that.
True. I think if he sees Fawn holding the marionette that we need, then what Album's going to do is just make for the double doors that we entered the room through, and then try and also drag Chelsea out behind him, just by her arms, not actually pick her up.
Okay, so you just want to grab
good
Chelsea.
lubricant. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you run over to grab Chelsea, roll a dex ×5, or a dodge if that's better. By the way, I should have been giving you options for that. Whichever's better for you.
Dex would be better, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
Indeed, Dex.
And Chelsea, you're not a particularly enormous person or anything like that. You're just average size. So yeah, Alba, you're able to grab her and drag her towards those double doors. Vessel, it's your turn. You're in a flaming rage right now. Fawn has ripped one of these down from the ceiling. There is the second one there that just killed Chelsea. Chelsea's blood is dripping down from its hand, its puppet arm.
So in my rage, I'm just gonna pull out my gun and load the entire clip in this puppet.
Okay, roll your attack. Okay.
Jeez.
Pull your gun out.
Oh, at least you didn't crit fail and shoot me.
That would have been hilarious. Point blank, unload the clip right at the Fawn. Yeah, you fire wildly. You hit it a couple times, but it's surprisingly agile. And in your red rage, you're unable to hit it. It would be Chelsea's turn now. Marionettes will go. I think this one's going to just lunge back out at Vessel. It makes the most sense at this point. 40 will be a miss. You took Chelsea over to the other door. You guys have some time, but you do see that more are beginning to unravel, and it's just a matter of time before more of these swarms kind of activate. Basically, top of the round, Fawn. You've got this marionette in your body. You saw Album run past, grab Chelsea, and go. You see Vessel is like losing his mind. He could have just kept punching. He could have ran, and he just, in the middle of what looks like a swarm of marionettes, pull his gun out and just is firing wildly. What do you want to do?
So if Album is pulling Chelsea's body, then I'm going to try to pull the mannequin behind. And just yell at Vessel. We need to get out of here. Okay.
I'll say that the one that could have grabbed you is entangled with Vessel at this point, so I think you're okay, and you don't have to roll a strength test. You can get the puppet out of there. So basically, okay. Album, Fawn, Chelsea's body, and the puppet are right at the ballroom door, and Vessel, you are left inside. So Album, do I assume you just continue to leave?
Yeah, he'll try and get out of that room and close the doors.
Yeah,
when everyone's
out. You get out into the hallway. Vessel, what do you do?
I will follow them out.
Okay. You follow out, back and then just firing wildly as you backtrack to the door. Okay. So I think a marionette might get one more shot off on Vessel on his way out, and then we'll call it. But he'll miss. And you guys get out into the hallway. You know that there are tracks everywhere. These things have the capability of following you. What do you guys want to do?
Can we try to close and block the door?
Okay, you can close the door. There are random tables here and there in the hallway, little runner tables and things, decorative, that you might see in a hotel, in a hotel hallway. So you run over, start moving furniture, you smash one, maybe jam something at the base of the door.
I'm gonna try taking the decorative tablecloth off and knot it around the handles.
Okay. You'll say you do and you do. Okay. So as best you can, you jam the door. By the time you're done wrapping the table, one of those runners around it, you can hear the sounds of clacking on the other side. You can hear stuff starting to smash against the door on the other side, and you all bolt. What do you do?
Album is going to want to try and find someone to help Chelsea, any person that he can just ask for medical assistance from.
Okay. Do you want to go back up into the lobby, or do you just want to wander and shout? Because these are empty corridors and random people that you run into.
Would we know our way back to Charlie's?
I think you could potentially find your way back to the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Album would probably do, is go to Charlie, since he was pretty forthcoming with help.
Okay.
But the whole time he's muttering to Chelsea's body, whose blood is this actually? This isn't Chelsea.
Okay.
Did we take what was needed inside the puppet?
Fawn has it. Fawn has the puppet.
I just have the puppet.
Oh.
The whole puppet.
Okay, so Album, you take Chelsea's body and you go up to Charlie's apartment. No problem. Vessel, Fawn, what do you want to do?
We'll just take what's inside and leave the puppet there.
We're supposed to take what's inside to Asa, and then we're supposed to destroy.
See if there's a furnace down here. There's got to be a furnace that helps heat water or something, or heat the building, and then you throw the mannequin in that.
So I'd like to move away from the doors, though.
So, yeah. I'm assuming that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
You guys outrun as best you can.
So we're headed back towards where Darabandi is.
Okay. Do you just smash it open before you get there, or do you just smash it open in front of him, or what do you want to do?
Well, I want to smash it before we get there, because he just wants what's inside. He doesn't care about the puppet.
Yeah, he just wants you to destroy it and then give him whatever is inside. Okay, so you find, you move away for a bit. You see Album move off. You find a small room, empty, abandoned. You kick, you pry, you stab, you smash, you rip open the chest. You can see that like it's got this like Cupid doll makeup. It's got like the gray hair kind of falls off, and you just smash and smash. And inside, you find what your fingers had just barely touched, Fawn, before Chelsea died. And it is a silver compass.
All right, we'll take a look at it front and back.
Yeah, there's no inscriptions or anything on it. I mean, it's got a couple what looks like, designs here and there, nothing that stands out to you.
Does it
but
point? I'm going to turn around to the point in any particular direction.
Yeah, when you look at it, you notice that the N for north, like it's not pointing in that direction. It does seem to be pointing very specifically towards something. Like, so you move and you shift, but it's not like oriented to the end. It's not like always pointing north or anything like that. But it does seem to always be pointing in this one specific direction. You don't even see an N on the compass at all.
Yeah, I want to start to go in the direction that it's pointing in, and I'll just like I'll show it to Vessel. Just say like it's going somewhere, and we might be trying to find something down here.
We can use that. We really wanted it.
We poke around a little bit before we give it to him.
Sound okay?
Okay. So after a few minutes of smashing it, you start following it, and it takes you to the stairs. You can see that there's a set of staircases, a staircase going down into the deeper basements.
Fawn will just look at Vessel and shrug, and like questioning as she pushes the door open. We going?
Yeah, we can keep going until we run into
Okay.
something.
So it takes you down like 2 flights of stairs. The first flight you go down, there's like a jammed door that seems like whatever was on the other side, like the ceiling had collapsed. You go down another flight of stairs, and then you find a door. Staircase seems to stop going downward. You kick open the door, and you notice, or at least when you get down to the bottom of the stairs, you can see that when you look at the compass, the arrow just shifts in a different direction through the door at the base of these stairs.
Keep going.
Okay. You open the door, and you start wandering through some more of these tunnels. This happens like 3 or 4 times, where you move down a hallway and it takes you to a staircase that goes down. And then you go down again, and the arrow shifts again. And you continue to kind of navigate down, over, until finally you come to what looks like this large stone set of doors. And you can see there are these runes that are kind of engraved in and around the whole thing. They have artistically sort of the same style as some of the symbols that you've seen associated with the demons in the books of the Hydromantia and other things, but they're not those specifically, but it's like the same artistic style. But there's just this heavy door, and it looks completely out of place with the rest of the hotel. This looks almost like a mausoleum entrance.
Take a look around, see if it opens up.
You push the doors open, heavy doors, and this sort of cold and dusty wind just wanders out. And as it does, you hear as the wind hits you in the face. And you look ahead and you can see what looks like a very dark tunnel. It almost looks like it's like a catacomb style layout.
Safe to assume we've never been this far, or I've never been this far.
You have never been this far. Not only that, you think this is the Whisper Labyrinth.
This is it. It's what I've been searching for.
It's what It's what we're searching for, but we're not all here.
Well, Chelsea's dead in Album. Where's
Well,
he?
Album's just trying to help her. She might not be dead. And Album's just trying to help her. And we've all been trying to find this place.
How long did it take us to get down here?
Who knows? Time just has this way of slipping from you. Maybe a few minutes, maybe a few days. I don't know. You don't really feel tired?
We can go back for him. It's fine. Let's just take a look around.
Oh, Fawn is very torn here because this is not the whole group moving forward. And sometimes when we go, you can't go backwards. Does Vessel just go forward?
Don't worry about that. You just Vessel, like you just make your decision fun. So like what do you do? I thought you meant Album, my bad. Vessel, do you go inside?
This compass like points inside and everything, right?
It does, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Who has it, by the way? I thought Fawn had it, but
Yeah, Fawn
I could
has
be
it.
okay.
Yeah, I mean she's showing it to him, so like he can see as it's going.
Okay, so Fawn, you have it in your hands.
Okay.
You're 100% sure that this thing was changing direction. It was kind of leading you to these kind of obscured staircases leading down.
Oh. If Vessel goes ahead, like Fawn's not gonna not go with him.
Yeah, I'll just take the compass from her. Like, give me this. I need to go.
Okay, you take the compass?
Yeah.
Fawn, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, so Vessel snatches the compass out of your hand and plunges into the darkness. You follow inside. We'll go back up to Album. Album, you've been trudging up these stairs a few times here and there. You know, halfway up the stairs, you bump into Dot again, the woman from the laundry, who just kind of looks at you and looks at what you're carrying, and she's just kind of shakes her head in this, kind of just resigned indifference. Like she's not being mean about it, but you can tell she's just, I told you.
Can Album steal some socks out of the laundry piles and stuff them into Chelsea's wounds to like help stop bleeding?
Sure. Yeah. You reach down, you grab them, and then you grab some socks, and she's like, hey, what? And then you start stuffing them into the wounds. However, when you go to start stuffing them in her wounds, you've been carrying her kind of like over the shoulder for a bit, blah, 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 because that's probably you're not going to officer and gentleman her all the way up the stairs. That's crazy. Her arms will fall off.
Oh, no,
but
Album's got such low charisma. He's just going to drag her by her two arms behind him.
Oh, God. Thump, thump, thump up the stairs. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
You look down, and the corpse that you see is old. It is just drained of fluid. The skin horribly discolored. The hair stringy. You can see the hands have kind of gnarled into like this crooked claw rigor having set in far quicker than you would have expected. And although it has the same, it looks like Chelsea, but it looks like this is a corpse that has been rotting for some
Months.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew. Album will just look to Dot, and at this point, like, not much really surprises him, and so he'll just say to her, like, how do you reconstitute a corpse? And if you don't know how, tell me who can.
I need to get back to the laundry for reset.
I can help you with the laundry if you just answer a simple question.
I need to get back before reset.
What is reset?
If she's what I think she is, she'll reset.
What, like a video game? What are you talking about?
Okay. You're new. Every so often, the hotel resets. All of the tracks, the marionettes, the puppets, they don't start where they're at. They start somewhere else. And when it resets, all of them move back to their starting positions. You shouldn't be in the hallway. You shouldn't be in the staircase. You shouldn't be out. You should be back in your room.
Why? What happens if we're here while it resets?
She looks down at this body and she sees it. Well, what happened to her when she encountered one of those puppets?
She got stabbed, but this is her second time that she's died.
And you see like just crystal clear dawning. She's a repeater.
No, she's not a Henry repeater. She's what are you talking about?
She's oh god. She repeats.
She never got her bottle. The way that I've come to understand this nonsense, gibberish, voodoo witchcraft magic is that she died. She suddenly came back. She was like starving for a bottle. She didn't find it and she died again. Seems like she's out of lives if we're playing Super Mario over here.
Oh, goodness. There are stronger forces at work than death.
What could be stronger than death? Chaos? Entropy?
He is. Listen. You can go back to your room. You can wait in the laundry with me if you want, but you should not be out in the halls. If you really want to see your friend again, she's exactly what I think she is. If what you say is true, she's already caught in his orbit. She's already his. Likely she's been his for some time. Maybe you are too. I don't know. If you want to find a way out, stuffing socks into her wounds is not the way to go about doing it.
And so what do I do with this husk? Just leave it?
It'll be cleaned up. We do have a staff. You think this is the first body that has fallen in these halls, that has fallen in this hotel? Everyone seeking the labyrinth below, everyone going down there. You think it's safe down there?
No, but it doesn't seem like people care much. Everyone seems disillusioned and just resigned to it, which is how I've been feeling. Tell me, if we're trapped in his mighty orbit, what's the point of going down to the labyrinth and acquiring whatever's in it?
Well, do you want to get out?
Does it work like that? Everyone's been speaking so cryptically, and they said that it's all a part of a play and that it's all by his design. So
the only way out is through.
I've heard that as well, but how do I know that's not just another partial puzzle or a partial clue to this giant puzzle where if we go through, then it doesn't matter in the end anyway?
Believe what you want, do what you want. I don't care. I'm resigned to my fate, and I have found peace with it. It's not my job nor my concern to make you comfortable with your own choices. If you want to resign yourself to live within the hotel, there are many amenities here, and this is not a terrible existence, albeit it is a repetitious one. But if you want out, if you want through, you need to do what all of the other dozens and hundreds and who knows how many have done. You're not going to find that here. You're going to find that down there. I don't reset. Well, I have a job. I clean the laundry. And that's what I do.
And if one of these marionettes killed you and you can't reset, that's it.
Why would
You're
they?
done? Why
I
wouldn't
would
they?
never
It seems like
I would never interfere with them. I know the rules. They're not savage. They help run the place. Who do you think makes the food you eat here? It's only when you start meddling in affairs, when you start disrupting the circuit that is at the heart of this place, that they'll become agitated.
Yep, that definitely sounds kingly. If you don't follow the dogma and you start asking questions, then they become hostile.
You're a very angry man. Perhaps you should get some rest within the dining room. Maybe that will soothe some of your anger. But I'm not here to be your punching bag. I do the laundry. If you want to return to your room, in some time I'm sure your friend will reset along with everything else. And the two of you can go do whatever you want. You can find the Somnier. You can go down into the Whisper Labyrinth. You can do whatever you want to do. But what I would really like you to do is to not drag your meddling into my area. I do the laundry here. Please don't disrupt that.
And Album will just start to walk out of the room, and he'll look over his shoulder sarcastically, and he'll say, "Oh, my apologies. I thought you being the laundry person, I could air my dirty laundry to you." And he'll just walk out into the hallway.
You just hear like a groan behind you. Okay. Where do you want to head, Album?
So that's a lot of information to take in. I think he'll still stop by Charlie's. He'll leave the Chelsea jerky in the hallway to get cleaned up later.
She'll actually roll a persuasion.
Okie doke. Ooh, fail. 67 over 46.
Okay. All right. She doesn't say anything when you leave. She go up to Charlie's?
Yeah.
Okay. You knock on the door to Charlie's. He opens the door. Well, hey there. Oh, you might want to come inside here.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie.
What's the rest of your party? There are four of you.
Album will look behind him and say, I don't know. The other two, one of us died, but apparently that doesn't matter. And I don't know where the other two went. They were smashing up a marionette, I think, trying to pull something out of its chest cavity.
Oh, well, that's not very smart.
Why not?
Well,
we were told to get something out of it, to get some help.
Told by whom?
Darabandi, Asa Darabandi.
Ah, that little crazy fella. Oh, why you listen to anything he has to say? He's crazy.
Well, true, but he also said he had a way to help us through the labyrinth, which is why we're here, I guess.
Well, if he knew how to get through the labyrinth, why would he still be here?
That is a fair point. I thought that myself, but he seems to be content just drowning children and crying about dreams.
Everybody has their roles to play. I drive the elevator.
Yes. When does the reset happen? Dot was just telling me about it. Can you tell?
Pretty soon now.
How do you know it's coming? Is it a feeling? Is there a clock you watch?
Well, the halls just seem to empty out now, don't they? You see anyone coming on your way down here other than Dot? And you didn't.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Just sort of happens that way, like clockwork.
Okay. And as long as you're not in the hallway, it just kind of happens and you're good?
Oh, well, yeah, you definitely don't want to be in the hallway right then. When they start resetting, heavens knows what could possibly happen to you. They might leave you alone, but if you just bump into the wrong one, oh dear.
All right. Well, since I don't know where the other two went off to, do you mind if I stay here with you until after it happens?
Sure, Charlie loves company. We can play canasta.
Sure, whatever that is. I can teach you how to make bombs.
Oh, well, why would you want to make bombs here?
They're persuasive.
You and I are going to be fast friends. You moving in? You staying? Or are you going to be like one of those others and trying to find your way out?
What does out mean? Everyone's been talking about that. I assume that means I just stop getting haunted by marionettes and strange visions that no one else can see.
Oh, well, Charlie doesn't really know that because Charlie's here. But people have come here and most stay, and some stay because they can't find their way out, and others stay because they've got other things they gotta do. You know, we've been assigned certain tasks. Charlie drives the elevator. So, you could do that and eventually be given something to do, or you could start the hunt like all those other fools do. Maybe you get lucky and you find one. Maybe you find your way out. Who knows? Charlie's not really looking. Charlie just enjoys driving the elevator.
Well, you do you, Charlie. I've got a lot to think through while I wait for the Great Reset.
Sure. Well, if you want out, you just let me know. Charlie knows all sorts of things. Charlie's very smart. Been here a very long time. Talked to a lot of people. Know where everybody is. Knows the movers, the shakers, all that sort of thing.
I think for now I'm just gonna have to find my way to wherever the other two went. But first, I gotta wait for the dead one to come back to life.
Oh, well, that'll happen. Sooner, later, sometime in between, who knows?
Will she reappear back in her room?
Oh, yeah, that'll be. Sometimes it's elsewhere, but most of the time in your room. It's what it's there for.
Okay. Maybe I should go wait by her room then.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll go do that. So, yeah, Alvin will just thank Charlie and then leave and then make his way back into the hotel proper and wait for Chelsea to pop out.
Sure. You have a good time. You come by for dinner tomorrow, but if you want to go looking for the others, you want to get down there, Charlie knows a way. Sorta. Kinda. If you feel up to it, head on over to room 830.
Okay. I will do that.
Follow who comes out. Just be careful. Go poking around inside there. It's a strange place. But whoever comes out. Charlie's seen them go down and down and down, carrying a bottle. I don't think that's coincidence.
That's a sharp observation. I'll
Sure.
Yeah,
Charlie's a
once
sharp
she's
fella.
back. Yeah, that you are. Okay, dinner tomorrow and then figure out a way into the labyrinth. Sounds good, Charlie.
Okay. So you leave. Let's cut back to the Whisper freaking Labyrinth, where Vessel and Fawn are here. What are we doing? You start wandering in. It's dark. You start moving around a bit.
Yeah.
Eventually, you get out of sight of the opening. It's very dark. You guys any light sources or anything?
Yeah, that flashlight we have.
Yeah, mag
Got
light.
that mag light. Okay. Got that on. Whoosh, giving you some light. All right. What are we doing?
I think I'll just follow this compass. The direction it's pointing.
Okay. Yeah, two of you follow the compass. And you just is that what you're doing, Fawn?
Yeah, Fawn is like muttering, like, we shouldn't have done this ourselves. We shouldn't have done this by ourselves. We should have waited for them. But she's not gonna wander around here by herself. That seems like a horrible idea. So at least being with one other person is better than not. Vessel's made up his mind. So
Okay.
this is what we do. Can I try? I don't think I'm gonna be even successful at this.
At what?
Can I try to roll a persuade and see if I can get Vessel to wait and collect album?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I it's up to. I mean, you can roll a persuade, but I don't know. I tend to be of the mind where
The contestant,
don't like-
sure, like
I don't really like. I'm not
Force
going to
its
tell
stats on
Vessel.
me
Yeah,
to, like,
I'm not going to tell Vessel that if your persuasion is successful, that he has to change the way he thinks. I just think make your case and see if if Long thinks you make a case and Vessel would do what you're saying, then sure. Otherwise,
Yeah, so I think Fawn will just like kind of just continue like every time we like do something, we should try to do it together. Like things don't go well when we're not together, and like anytime we have to like we just ran here, and then we had to go through like the thing coming out of the Dorchester, and before like we always did it together, and he could get stuck here by himself.
What do you mean? It's like we're back at the apartment. We were there. We all ended up in the Dorchester, the same place. They'll find their way.
And Fawn will kind of remember that Vessel got shot, and then Vessel ended up here anyway, not coming with. So then Fawn will just continue.
okay, you guys continue in the darkness for a while. The whole time you're in here, like it's extraordinarily dark, and you can see what kind of appears like a mixture of like sunken catacomb, labyrinthine like walls that are refined stone, and others more like cavernous here and there. You see cracks in the floor and the wall, but you move with purpose, and you just follow what appears to be this compass that's just and you come to these splits where it's like left or right, and it points left. You come to a 3-way split, go straight. Comes to a 4-way split, go right. And for a not insignificant period of time, you travel through these halls. At a certain point, you kind of enter into a room where there looks like, and every time you're passing by these rooms, by the way, I should note that there are shelves. Some of them are like made in flattened carved stone. Others are like rough hewn rock in cavernous walls. And there are bottles everywhere. There are glass bottles, clay bottles, metal bottles everywhere. Each of them plaques affixed to them with names. Not all, most of them you don't recognize in the least. But bottle after bottle, room after room, dozens and dozens of bottles, and the two of you are kind of wandering again. That time just slips. You just kind of get busy, and you don't really focus on it anymore. Can't see your watches really if you wear them, your phones, maybe you're conserving battery. And it's hard to tell exactly how long you've been going. At a certain point, you see what looks like, in the center of this intersection of 3 different tunnels, including one that you're coming down, you see on the ground this silver platter that has kind of just fallen down onto the ground. It seems like there's what look like these gelatin snacks that have been stacked up on it. Some of them have fallen off the platter, some of them kind of still remain. A few of them are stacked upon one another. You look around the room, there's still all of those shells with bottles, but this is the first object in your path that you've seen thus far. And you can see that the arrow specifically points down, like the left part of the Y of this intersection.
I'll see if this snack is edible. I haven't eaten in a while.
You reach down, and you pop it into your mouth. It's just Jello.
What are you doing eating that?
It's like the can of beans all over again.
Gotta eat wherever I go.
Fawn, roll. You can roll alertness while he does this, while he just picks this up and eats. Let's say you've got the flashlight, he's got the compass, right?
So am I still suffering from?
No, I'll say it's been long enough where I think
Okay.
your disorder's probably, and you've gone through some other things since then.
Still failed.
Okay. Yeah. He eats it. It's fine. Okay. Go ahead and roll a luck test, Vessel.
Right. Success.
Okay. You're standing there. You just swallowed this gelatin snack. You're right. This is the first time you've eaten. Now that you think about it, when was the last time you ate? Did you have lunch today? Did you have lunch any day? You start kind of processing it. Have I eaten? When was the last time I went to the bathroom? Are there bathrooms here? And like all of these thoughts start rushing through your head, and you realize there is no bathroom in your room. There is no bathroom anywhere. And most days you don't eat, and you just pop this in your mouth, and that's when you start to get very dizzy. You just start to sway a bit. Your eyes kind of begin to water. Your eyelids start to flutter a bit like small little bug wings. And you get a vision, like a wall up ahead in between the left and the right path begins to just reshape itself in front of you. And you see this alcove begin to emerge. There's a bottle that seems to be propped up, isolated in some way. And you do not see this, Fawn, but you see Vessel just sort of swaying a little bit.
I'm gonna drag myself towards it.
You move towards it, and you can see that the bottle itself has a name on this engraving. And you see the name J.C. Lynn's carved into the plaque attached to this bottle itself.
Does Fawn see that too?
No. You look him, he's, as far as you can tell, he's staring at a blank wall. Like a rough-hewn rock wall, a couple small little like cutout shelves here and there where 3 or 4 bottles are stacked next to one another. But yeah, you take a look at this vessel, and you just kind of see it, and it kind of flickers every now and then. And yeah, it's just this ever darkening layers of crystal. It's got this cork that's sealed with what looks like melted yellow wax. And you can see pressed into that wax is the yellow sign. Familiar sight for you by now.
I'm gonna get this bottle.
You reach out, and your hand just goes right through it as if it's a hologram. It's not even there. And as it does, the whole image begins to flicker and disappears. And you see your hand just caressing down this rough rock wall.
Vessel, what are you doing?
Everyone stay hydrated.
JC's bottle is here.
What are you talking about? It's an empty wall.
I saw it, but it faded away.
There was nothing there. There was nothing to fade away. What are you talking about?
Think I'm crazy? Of course it was.
So Fawn's just gonna start like banging on the wall.
Yeah, it's rough rock. Like you bang on the wall here and there. There's nothing.
So Fawn saw him eat the Jello.
Mm-hmm.
So Fawn's gonna try to eat the Jello too, because like
Okay.
I'll give it a
You
shot.
lean down. You've got your flashlight in hand. You see the light cast over, and you can see that inside each of these small Jello squares is a bug.
Did you look at this before you shot it in your mouth?
No, it's dark.
I mean, I have a light. You could have asked. There's a bug in here.
Oh, I'm familiar with it.
I mean, because he said he saw the bottle, like this isn't necessarily going to deter Fawn.
Okay.
because like we're here for the bottle, and if he said he saw the bottle, then this might be the way to see the bottle, so she's gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. Okay. So you pick up one of these snacks and you pop it into your mouth. Go ahead and roll San.
Critical failure.
You not only do you not see any kind of vision, but you begin to violently retch, puking up every bit of the jello, but absolutely none of the bug comes up. Go ahead and take a point of willpower damage.
Oh, no.
Lose 1 willpower, basically.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
It's just a wall here. Is the compass pointing in this direction?
You are Vessel, and I should note that you felt like you were. I mean, like you interpreted how you want to a degree, and how you want to react to it emotionally in RP, but it was like something was giving you a sign, and like you felt like this confidence suddenly swell in you, like this is the way.
Okay. I'll start off maybe by like tapping against the wall, listening, see if it like maybe sounds hollow on the other side.
It's completely rock, 100%. Both of you have done it. You're both confident this is just rock.
Maybe there's some like loose ones I can pull off.
There's bottles, but you start going through them. Names do not match JC lenses. You're seeing all sorts of different names.
I meant like loose rocks on the wall. It's just like doesn't come part of them.
Here and there, but not enough to push back beyond the wall. No.
Am I done throwing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to try another one?
I mean, I don't think Fawn would.
Okay.
So are we like at a dead end?
No, there's 2 ways going forward, and the compass points to the left, and like you know that's where the compass is taking you. Vessel had this vision, and you didn't. But Vessel, you had this vision and a sense of confidence, and like this is the way forward. Like that, just kind of, you've never felt more confident that is the way forward. You don't know why, you don't know how, but what you just saw is the way forward.
And that's like the direction of this wall? Or just like
So
I saw...
think of how a Y works, right? Like a capital Y. You guys came up the stem. The off to the left stem is where the compass is pointing. In between those the two vertical stems on this wall, there's a couple little small spot shelves where there's bottles here and there. You saw a vision of like this alcove, this lit alcove with just this one bottle, as if it was just like isolated. And you know it's not there. Like you've banged on the wall, it's not there, but you saw it in your mind, and you knew that that's the way forward.
Okay.
Fawn wants to try to go down the left a little bit and just see if there's some sort of like, she's kind of banging on the wall all the way down just to see if maybe there's another way to get to that spot.
Okay. Vessel, what do you do? What are you doing?
I'll just keep following this compass for now, so if she went left, then I'll go left as well.
Okay. So you keep going and you keep banging on the walls, and again, you don't find anything. I wanna stress, like Vessel, that you saw a vision of this thing. You don't necessarily know if it was that room, but it's
So I feel
it's
like
the bottle and what you saw that was giving you that confidence.
Yeah, I just feel like if I feel that again, like I find it somehow, but I just continuing forward. Like, I don't care about the walls or anything. I'm like looking for like maybe it's a different room in the labyrinth is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Like it's not here.
What's a different room in the labyrinth? Like where there's where the
This
vision
alcove,
was.
like it's somewhere else here, not actually here. I just saw it. I just know it's in the labyrinth,
Okay.
sort of.
So you travel for a little while longer, and you come to yet another intersection. Again, rooms filled with bottles. You have 2 ways out. It's basically like a T intersection. Fawn, the compass is pointing you right. Vessel, you feel it in your bones that you need to go left.
Yeah, then I'll ignore the compass here until Fawn. We're going left.
The compass is right.
I know, but what I saw, what I feel, it's pulling me this way.
All right. I mean, we can double back if we need to. So let's go your way first.
You move down
Off we go.
the left tunnel. Maybe 100 steps, 200. You're not really sure, but eventually you come into a dark room. And you see this strangely lit alcove. None of these other alcoves are lit. The only light is that which you bring with your mag light. But you see this strangely lit alcove. A single bottle, ever darkening layers of crystal. You can see the same cork that is sealed with that yellow wax, the same yellow sign, and the same name on the plaque. J.C. Lynn's. We're going to cut up to Album. Album, where do you go? After Charlie.
Yeah, he would just make his way back up to the rooms that we all had and wait for Chelsea to pop her head out.
Go back to your rooms? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're not going
Are
to
you-
8:30?
Are you waiting in your room or are you waiting in Chelsea's room?
He'll wait in the hallway and just assume that Chelsea will eventually poke her head out of the room.
Okay. At a certain point, you hear, like, there's nobody else in the hall. You saw nobody in the elevator. You saw nobody in the lobby. There's nobody anywhere. And as you're waiting around, you hear all this clacking sound coming from the far end of the hallway. What do you want to do?
He'll duck into his. Do the rooms have peepholes on them?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then he'll duck into his room and watch through the peephole.
You watch through the peephole as like 5 marionettes in bellhop uniforms just are like moving backwards through the hall towards like the other end that they started from. And
After they go past his door, he'll crack it open and like poke his head out to see where they're going.
you see them just disappear down the hall and then make an abrupt right turn, and you hear like the clacking just go, and then it kind of gets distant, and they're moving at great speed.
Album will take that as the like reset happening, and he'll knock on Chelsea's door.
Okay. Chelsea, roll an alertness test.
Oh my gosh.
Crit fail. 55 over 34.
No answer,
Your
Album.
eardrums blow out. Okay. Album will just swear under his breath and then try the door handle.
Okay. You don't have a key, so
Right.
you can just try to knock. You can try to shoulder into it. You can try to pick it, whatever you want to do. But it is locked. You don't have a key. You know that everyone has their own keys. So, but if you want to try to break it down, you're welcome to do.
Does the old credit card trick work? Slip it into the
Sure.
door
yeah.
frame.
Roll. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a dex. Roll dex times 5. Hey Vessel, can you do me a favor? Can you send Chelsea a message? Everything I told you about Vessel, tell her, like, about Chelsea. Okay.
Sure.
Save me some time.
I got a success. I got a 3.
Okay. You knock the door down, like you just, or not knock the door. You.
I was gonna say, goddamn.
I was gonna say like that was one strong credit card, but you, and eventually like you mess around with it, and, like the card bends a little bit, but you do manage to get the door open. It's very, very dark in here. You hear the sound of someone snoring very lightly.
Oh, is there a light switch nearby he can flick on?
Yeah, you flip a light switch and you see this vintage Victorian lamp that's on like this table on the far side of the room light up, and there's a mound in the bed, and you can see it slowly rising and falling.
Um. Yeah, Alvin will enter the room, and is there a head poking out from the covers, or is it all covered up?
It's just this big tangle of like dark hair with occasional streaks of gray. You recognize it. It's Chelsea.
Okay. Unceremoniously, Alm's gonna thump her upside the head and say, "Get up."
Okay, Chelsea. Go ahead and roll a 1d4 -1. As you take 2 points of damage as you are smacked upside the head. As you wake up from a deep slumber because your crit failed, and you look up, and your eyes are hurting, your jaw's hurting, and there's Album standing over top of you.
That's the second time now. That is the second time. Can you stop getting stabbed so easily?
Chelsea,
I thought you were a special
no
agent.
Memory, none
What are you talking
whatsoever.
about?
I'm talking about watching your gullet get just absolutely sliced by a marionette's arm. We were just down in the hallways, the basement. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's convenient.
I've been waiting for you here.
Okay, you haven't. No, you just died. I have, and he points to his back. I have your. This is your blood on my shirt. Go ahead, lick it. I'm sure it'll taste familiar.
What?
Could you, I don't know what happened to you, but could you get out of my room? What is
No.
wrong with you?
We're okay. I need you to come with me. We're on a schedule. We're on a tight schedule. I don't know what the schedule is. I don't know how it works, but
isn't even ready yet. It's
What?
2 hours till breakfast.
You don't even know what breakfast means. Time is meaningless here. I can't remember the last time I had a shit. We need to get back down into the basement. We're missing Vessel and Fawn.
Just because you're constipated doesn't mean that's my problem.
No, you're missing the point.
Because you didn't back when we were on
Chelsea,
that one mission.
As you start talking about this, it suddenly dawns on you that, strangely enough, and I'm not trying to be gross, you don't remember the last time you went to bed. And you guys both sort of look at the room and you realize there's no bathroom in here. And somebody vaguely mentioned it being down the hall. You don't recall ever seeing any sort of bathroom down the hall.
You hit my head. I have a headache now. Do you have ibuprofen? Like, what's your problem?
My problem is you keep dying. You're like the co-op. It's like we're playing a co-op game and you're the teammate that keeps going down and I got to carry your dead weight. Literally. I just carried you through a hallway. I'm going to show you your jerky little skeleton.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. You aged like 90 years by the time I dragged you from the ballroom to Charlie's apartment.
Where's Fawn or like...
I don't know.
Is
They
Vessel
cracked.
Also here?
They were busy shattering a crash test dummy. I don't know what happened. They disappeared. I tried talking to a laundromat. It didn't go so well. It was the most Nietzsche laundromat in the world.
And like Chelsea's got that like 1,000-mile stare of just like, I don't get paid enough for this shit. And she's just like, okay, so what's priority number one then? Like, what's happening?
Priority number one is getting your ass out of bed, and you're just gonna follow me, and you're just gonna do what I say. You're my squire.
I can't promise that, but I will get out of bed.
All right, we got work to do. We got to get back down into the basement. What was the last thing you remember?
I mean, I've been waiting for you guys.
You've been here for weeks,
Yeah.
months. You're not sure. It's been a long time, and you've just been looking around, looking for the labyrinth. Haven't been able to find it. That kind of thing.
I've been trying to find the labyrinth. Sometimes I talk to Mark. You know.
Rourke?
Yeah, he's down in the lobby sometimes.
Yeah, Rourke's useless as far as I could tell. All right. We're going to the cafeteria. We're going to steal some food. We're going to give it to Charlie. How many tokens do you have on you?
I mean, I get 2 a day.
Yeah, but you've been here for weeks, apparently. How many have you saved up?
Why would I save them? I eat twice a day.
Interesting. You told me you were going to save them before. Very interesting. All right, let's go. We got things to do.
I didn't. That was fun.
Oh, was it? Whoops. Whatever. I'm paranoid.
Okay.
That's why would I save my tokens? Okay.
All right. So you say you wanted to go to the dining room?
Yeah, because we did promise
Okay.
Charlie dinner, so we'll
You
bring
get out
something
into
to
the
him.
halls and they're empty again. You go to the elevator, empty again. You get down, like it looks like the reset hasn't fully reset yet. They look like, from what you understand, Dot was explaining that all of the marionettes were basically resetting to their starting positions, and they have. It looks like they haven't started to move again, and it also seems that because of that, the hallways in the lobby and all that kind of stuff that you can see out of the elevator, and you don't even know how to move the elevator, but you can, as you get in, you can kind of look down from where you guys are deep down. There's no one there, and like you had to take the stairs up, like you somehow they're just miraculously cleared. So what do you want to do? Do you want to just take the stairs down to the dining room, or do you want to go somewhere else?
Yeah, I think we might as well just take advantage of like the emptiness of things, because that'll make it easier to get down into the basement without having to time it for like, secrecy.
Okay. All right. Chelsea, do you just follow him?
If he promises me this is where like Vessel or Fawn are, I'll go down.
Okay. All right. So you begin descending down. Periodically, you hear the clacking of marionettes moving, and you have to like kind of hide and dodge and a couple times on your way down. You get down into the basements. You eventually work your way back over to Darabondi's room, and you go inside. And when you go inside, he's kind of weeping on the ground, still freaking out. You see no signs of either Vessel or Fawn. But when he sees the two, did you do it? Did you do it?
Who are you?
You would know him.
Oh, would I?
Yeah, you would know Asadaraban. You met him prior to even the Hotel Brodelman.
Okay.
But you
She just,
you
like-
wouldn't know what he's talking about, though.
Okay, yeah. She'll be like, I don't. What are you talking about?
You said you were going to go to the marionette ballroom. You're going to find the one that looks like my aunt. You're going to smash it, and you're going to get from it that which I need.
What do you need that for? Like, what does it do?
I need to find, like everyone else, a way out. If I can find a way out, the dreams will stop, and I can stop killing the children. He looks over towards the album. Did you have it? Did you do it?
Album is gonna also act like Chelsea and be like, "What are you talking about?"
No. And he starts like hitting his head. No. There were four of you. You said you would help. You said you would help. You said you would help me kill
When
my
was this?
dreams. So I don't know. I don't understand the question. Earlier, before,
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's going to make me kill another one. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. I tried to stop, and you were going to help me stop. It's on your heads. It's on your heads next time. Oh God. Oh.
You said he's like slim for
Yeah, he's a
an
slight
adult
man.
male.
He's young. He's not young. He's short. He's slight. He's very slight of build.
Album wants to try and throw him into the tub.
Oh God. Okay. Roll a strength times 5.
Oh God, I forgot I'm feeble too.
This will be contested.
Of course.
for
Does he have a strength
sure.
higher than 7?
I don't know his stats.
Oh,
gotta
I
look
failed
them
by
up.
1. I got a 36 over 35.
It's contested, so it works slightly
Yeah.
different.
I know. That's why I'm
gotta
hoping his
find his stat sheet. Actually, I don't know where the hell his stat sheet is.
album's also gonna just wink at Chelsea before he does this.
I honestly, even like without like he's a child killer, she ain't gonna say shit. Like,
keep vamping. I'm looking for it. One sec.
Hey, we got a reroll. Thanks, Tool.
Oh, thanks, Tool.
No, my nerd strength isn't gonna.
Oh, he
I'm
wants
not
that
gonna-
for Derek.
Oh God, he's putting all of his faith into the
He
7
wants
strength
Asa dead.
physicist. Okay.
End it.
Shit. I guess I should. How would you play that, Jeff? Should I see what Asa rolls first before I reroll, or do you want me to reroll it now?
So the way that these things work, so the way contested things work is that there's like different potential results depending upon whether both fail or both succeed or one fails or one succeeds. So like a contested test kind of works a little differently. So it's kind of up to you whether or not you want to do that. I'm sorry, I cannot for the life of me find his character stat.
My unarmed combat is technically higher than my strength, so could I use that in place?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That's even worse.
Oh no.
I might use my reroll on that.
Although technically, your first roll was a 36, and your unarmed combat's a 43.
Right. Oh, right, but if it's contested, I would want a higher number.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give him
this
like
is-
Yeah.
This is like Duel of Fates with the nerds, both awesome.
I'm gonna give him I'm gonna give him strength times 5 of 40, so an 8 strength. He's not particularly strong. All right. Okay.
Oh
you,
my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
you throw him into the tub. It's on your head. It's on your head, and it's like the end of Empire. It's like no, not the end of Empire. It's like the end of the Return of the Jedi, where he just like kind of picks up the Empire, and he's like, "It's on your head," and he's not even moving. He's just like it's like ah! And you throw him into the tub, and he splashes around a bit, and you see that he just disappears into it. You also, by the way, are going to need to roll a sand on that, by the way.
Okay.
So you need to roll sand.
Failed 50.
Okay, so that's you're killing a murderous enemy in cold blood. Something like that. So you failed.
Warm blood.
Definitely not an innocent.
I failed, yeah.
Yeah, roll a d6.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's 3 points
All right.
from violence.
Oh, but I'm adapted to violence.
Okay, then yeah, you don't take any then. It's a 0
Makes
slash
sense for you to do
1d6.
it.
Okay. All right. So now where do you two go?
There's like
Album-
nothing else left in this room, right?
Just a tub of water and a small sink that doesn't seem to have fixtures on it.
Album's gonna say, okay, I dragged. Wait, and he'll go back into the hallway. Is there still like a smearing of blood from where he dragged Chelsea's corpse?
Nope.
Oh, well, shit.
Reset.
Duh,
Clean up
yeah.
Crew.
Does he at least have enough knowledge to find his way back to the ballroom doors?
Sure, if you wanted to.
So he'll at least say, all right, I'll take you back to where the 4 of us made it together, and then we split off from there. And he'll also point to the tub, and he'll say, that guy's a fucking dick. So when we talked to him earlier, like, that was earned.
He kills children, so
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's totally why I
Yeah.
was saying that. Yeah, right.
Okay. So you
Let's
guys
go.
make it over towards the ballroom, and you don't see the fixtures that you set up to block it. It looks like it's been reset.
Okay. Album will say, don't open that door. That's where you died. Your blood's missing. It was all over the floor. That was fun. Now, the hallway, I'm assuming it's just like a T-shaped hallway where the door is like the end of the T, and then I went left and they
Yeah.
went right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'm just going to be like, okay, we go this way because that's where Vessel and Fawn went.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And we wander.
Okay, roll a luck test.
Ah, yes. The luck. Fuck.
Both of us or just Derek?
You can do it
95.
too if you want.
36.
Yeah, you guys get lost. And who knows how much time passes. Like you just get lost, and at a certain point, like there's like Album leading the way. and sort of demonstrably so in some ways, leading his squire, right? At a certain point, Chelsea, as you're walking, he's like just storming past this intersection, and you spy off to your right a stairwell going down that he just completely ignores as he just tries to just storm past and through the intersection to the other side, completely missing what looks like a stairwell going down that you have not seen before, Chelsea. In all of your exploration of the hotel, looking for the Whisper Labyrinth, you don't recall that.
Oh, well, Album.
What? I'm busy. We're trying to find them.
I presume, don't we want to go down?
I don't know. I'm trying to find two stiffs that are trying to... I don't even know what they're doing. They seem to not care about you. Probably had the right idea.
Okay, well, I'm going this way, and I go down.
Okay. What does Album do?
Looks over his shoulder. And then he calls after her, wait for me or you're going to die again. And then I have to find you and resurrect you.
Okay. One of you needs to roll a navigation test. As you start descending a staircase that looks vaguely familiar to the map that you sketched out from memory, which is not identical to the one that you found in Abigail Wright's things inside the Boxer Hotel, but you start noticing like you're finding places that you hadn't quite discovered before. So one of you needs to roll a navigation test as you're kind of going from memory, kind of moving and shaking, because you're in places that you've never been, and you're really just kind of using the vague use of the map. You get a plus 20 on this because of the map, but you can roll a navigation plus 20.
Yeah.
We're the blinds leading the blind. I got a 10.
You
there.
had the luck test that went out in your favor. We both got a navigation of 10, so.
Man, if only you had that reroll for this instead of the cold-blooded murder of a dude who's probably just going to reset.
It was cathartic.
That's fair. That's fair.
Album needed that.
Actually, that's actually a fair point. Roll a d6, Album.
Okie doke.
Take 4 points of sanity back.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, you did
Yeah,
fight
that's right.
against evil.
That's
You
right,
murdered-
audience. You too can gain sanity through murder.
I know that's a mixed message, but I think you make a good point. It was cathartic. That's a fair point. As a known child
Yeah.
murderer, I'm okay with this. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now
we're
roll
lost.
your navigate and crit fail.
So who's giving me that navigation test? Again, you get plus 20 because you have that map, sort of.
No, I thought Chelsea threw the navigation test out.
No one rolled
I
it.
failed.
Oh, she did
Yeah,
roll
I
it. My
failed.
bad.
I did.
Okay. All right.
Can Derek also try? Because we're constantly warring against each other. We'll see if we actually listen.
Sure. Okay. That's fine. Go ahead, Derek. You guys,
That's even worse.
okay.
I'm resolute that we need to go back up the ladder.
You guys get caught in a mop closet for like days past. You guys get lost in these sub basements, just
Oh,
trying as best
no.
you can. And who knows how much time passes. We're gonna kick it over though to Vessel and Fawn. You reached the attic. You're on the roof now. That's fun. We're gonna kick it back. Vessel, Fawn, you're staring at this strangely lit alcove. You see this bottle. You see the yellow wax, etc. I'm gonna ask Chelsea. I'm gonna ask Derek and Ashley to take your headphones off, please. And I'll do something like this to wave you back. Okay, all right. So, yeah, you see this alcove. You see the name on the bottle. What do you want to do?
This is it. This is what I saw.
We found it. That's what the poem said. This is what we're supposed to find. The author, his bottle.
So I'll go up to it.
Okay. You walk up to it. Your alertness is incredibly high. You would notice that it appears to be mounted on some kind of mechanism. Almost like it's almost like a lever in some way. Like there's some clockwork mechanism on which like this pedestal that it's propped up on seems to connect to it. What do you want to do?
I will inspect it some then. See
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, like
Pulling
an
or
inspection skill.
moving something.
You think if you pull it forward, it likely will cause something to sort of spin, and neither of you have engineering, so I don't think either of you could really discern exactly what it would do, but you're pretty sure pulling it forward would likely do something.
Jeff, I have archaeology. Might I have some?
Oh God, like a
Similar.
temple. Oh jeez.
I don't want to fail the roll and not get
There's
it.
gonna be a boulder. What do you replace?
I got a
it with
70 in
weights?
archaeology, and I don't think I've made a single archaeology.
I'll say,
roll.
okay. Go ahead and roll archaeology. Go ahead. It's fine.
I hope this works. 59 under 70.
So when you're looking at it, you can see that there is the base itself looks like a clockwork wheel. And as you're following the different gears and switches, it seems like there's a device, and like pulling it down might make that begin to spin. And you can see that it's as if there's looking at the alcove as well. It's not just rock, but it's constructed. You get this weird feeling that there's like a secret door. And this might be how you open it.
I think we should. This is the way out, the way through.
Give it a yank.
Okay. As you pull on the bottle, you can see that wheel, that clockwork wheel, begins to spin. And it spins. And once the bottle's at full extension, there is this loud cracking noise, and the bottle comes off the connection.
Oh no!
Both of you roll a d20.
Shoot. 8.
9.
Both of you restore that much amount of sanity.
Ooh.
I can still get that.
You can now.
Okay.
Once this like sort of whirring and this mechanism can kind of concludes, you can see that the alcove suddenly opens inward, and you can see there is this full-size passage, and the passage reveals steps that lead upward into this mist that is over top of some kind of darkness.
I'm just gonna run through.
Okay. Vessel bolts, goes through. Fawn, you see the mist sort of disperse a bit as he runs up the stairs. Fawn, what's going through your mind right now?
Fawn is so torn. Like, Fawn does not want to be doing this without the group, but he just keeps running on. So she feels the need to continue.
Do you follow after him?
I do.
Okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll cut back. As I wave back in Ashley and Derek. Okay, Derek's not here. Hours have passed. Days, maybe, Chelsea? You're not even really sure. One roll I need to make. Oh, God. Okay. At a certain point, Chelsea, you and Derek kind of break out into what looks like a balcony overlooking this interior courtyard, this dark interior courtyard.
Okay.
And it's fairly far down and somewhat obscure. There's not a ton of light. The only light really here is occasional sconces in the walls along the balcony, so it's not really lighting up the ground. But when you look down, you see what looks like this dark and empty fountain, like something you might see in like a mall, like a shopping mall.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought of the mall kind of cascades through your head, and then you see right next to that fountain, you see what looks like a shopping mall kiosk, and you see a listing of stores. And it's too far away for you to read it out, but you recognize it, right? And as you look down at this fountain, you can see that it's It's shaped like the yellow sign. As you're watching, Album, like you guys are on a balcony looking down very distantly at what looks like an interior courtyard of the interior of a mall, like a shopping mall. And you see a fountain shaped, looking above and looking down, and that of the yellow sign. As you're watching, you notice, first of all, there's a second balcony that's a second level to that area. And you can see, like, in the shadows, there's people moving. And you realize that there are what looks like special operators, special ops, dressed in black, guns, night vision goggles on. And all of them are kind of perched on these, like, almost like making a kill box around the fountain. You then see this child-sized figure that is draped head to toe in what looks like golden sheet, steps out from behind the kiosk and begins kind of cavorting and dancing silently, stepping up and over and into the empty fountain. There's no water or anything there. It starts to mime the precise positions of each one of these gunmen that you see aligned up on the balcony overlooking that kiosk. They're like pointing up towards one, and then the exact position, pointing up towards the other, takes the exact position. That's when you notice that there are these long shadows of 4 figures that begin to appear on the ground on, like, let's call it the south side of the fountain, slowly beginning. And it almost looks as though that golden sheet figure is communicating with them. You can see that the shadows get closer and closer and closer until 4 figures emerge. They're too far for you to see, but they are literally on that bottom floor by the fountain. And, like, they're kind of looking, like, you can see 1 or 2 of them might be looking at the golden sheet boy, but the rest aren't. And that's when the gunmen just open fire. Just assault rifle slaughter. And like lambs to a slaughter. And all of these bodies just get blown up. These 4 individuals. Both of you go ahead and roll sand.
I failed.
Okay. You're adapted to violence, but you can take a point. Chelsea, you're cool. When the bodies come to a rest after getting completely lit up, one thing you notice about them, one of them has white hair, and when they flop over, Album, you see yourself amongst the 4 that were just utterly slaughtered. And, like, just like that, the entire alcove area, or excuse me, the entire kiosk area with the fountain and the second level, the whole vision of whatever this mall was goes completely black, and you can no longer see anything. What do you guys do? One of you guys can roll that navigation test again, as literally hours have passed.
Okay, yeah.
What the
Do you
hell
want
was
me
that?
to
Did
roll
you
it?
see that, Chelsea?
Just what's your alertness?
34.
Yeah, you would have noticed that. Like, it's hard, like, you don't know for sure, but man, that looked like Album.
Yeah, he kind of looked like you.
I'm pretty sure that was me. What is this, like an alternate universe?
I don't know. I haven't come across anything like this before.
Strange.
Go ahead, Album, roll that navigation. Remember, it's plus 20. Okay.
It
The
did not
blind
make
leading
it.
the blind.
Okay. You guys wander. You find a couple more staircases. You're continuing to descend. You feel lost, but you have never been this deep before in the hotel, Chelsea. At a certain point, like, you're about to move up towards what looks like a staircase, but about 20 feet in front of it, because it's kind of an ornate door that leads to this staircase, you can see there's this beautiful pedestal, and on top of it there is this even more beautiful golden sculpture of a goldfish that's just kind of propped up on some kind of stand, and like there's a light that's over top of it hanging down from the ceiling in between the tracks for the marionettes. And it looks exquisite. It looks almost real. The scales, the ratio, the proportions, etc.
And it's a statue?
It's just this golden statue about yay big of a fish. Small fish, like a goldfish.
Oh, so it's to scale even?
Yeah.
What the hell is this thing?
I don't know. And Chelsea will just keep walking.
Okay. 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 You guys descend. You guys move past. You move down a few more flights. Time is just passing at God knows what kind of clip. You get through what looks like some kind of hallway, and you see, as you're about to enter into another downward staircase, there's this large box that's off to the side. It's not immediately visible until you're about to open the door, and you can see that there's these labels on it, like delivery labels. You can peek at it. You see that it has a stamp from some kind of local delivery service, delivered 2nd of August, 2015. You see the specific stamp, the specific address, Henderson, Nevada. And it's to a name that you recognize. Ophelia Citry. You can see that it's got this recognition stamp that says it was some sort of bulk reshipper from Jamestown, Massachusetts. Do you guys got forensics? Either of you have forensics?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a 26.
I have a 45.
45 will do. When you look at the return address, you can see that it's almost unreadable because somebody has written over the name with permanent marker, and it now says Wild.
Oh.
But as you're looking at it, Album, you can see that underneath it, the name is Barbas. And you can see that the box has been like ripped open. Like it's open. And you can see that inside of it are 3 dozen pieces of cracked bronze. Either of you have art?
I have
Chelsea?
art painting.
Okay, roll art. You can roll it. Roll art. I'll give you plus 20. With the plus 20, that puts you at 39. 30 for under 39 is good. You think that there was likely, like, this looks like it was probably a sculpture of some kind, and like these little pieces are like these like little like the flange and everything that are kind of keeping it sort of intact, like someone sort of snapped them off in strange ways. Very small. It could be like, child size, could be a gnome, it could be something very, very small, just a couple feet tall. But it's just something about it just seems very, very off. You're not even sure, like the brass, like it's like the mold itself, as you start digging through it, if it actually looks like the insides of it was using, as you start examining, feeling through the impressions, that it looks like it was like a statue of a small child, like maybe 2-3 feet tall, but it looks like one of the arms is like the arms are missing. The face and hands seem obscured and different for some ways, and you're not really sure about how some of this broke. It doesn't really make sense. You're not sure what to make of this. It's just there in the corner as you're about to descend.
That's really weird.
What do you guys want to do?
That was all that was in the box?
Mm-hmm.
Was this figurine? Okay.
Definitely something else was in here, but it's not in here now. Like, it looks like this is a mold, but there was like something else that kind of broke out of this too.
Chelsea's gonna keep going.
All right, navigation tests again.
Much closer.
With a I'm sorry, I was looking at the painting. Sorry. Okay, that's
Not
pretty
yet.
close though. That's pretty close. Okay. Okay. You guys work your way down, and eventually you come to like this long hallway with linoleum floors, and you can see that there is this heavy set man that's like running through them, looks up at you and has this just a guilty look on his face. You don't recognize him, sweat kind of on his brow, looks nervous, and just runs off. And you can see like he's running in a distance towards what looks like an elevator. And he's like looking back at you. He's looking at, he's looking at the elevator, and he's like pushing the button, trying to quickly get on this elevator.
I'll chase after him and tell him to stop where he is.
Okay, you chase after them, and you get what's your dex?
13.
It's pretty good. You get within about 10 feet, and the doors open up, and he slips through, and the door, and like the doors remain kind of temporarily opened, and he just disappears. Meaning you can't see him. He disappears through the doors.
Interesting. And where was he running from?
You're not really sure. Like, you descended down the stairs. There's a couple different hallways, and he just kind of came out of one of these doors, these hallways, and he just looked up at you all and just started running.
Okay. Alvin will call down to Chelsea. Dude just disappeared in an elevator. Do we follow him or do we go somewhere else?
Oh, that would probably take us up to the lobby.
Yeah, but I don't know if we want to go that way.
So it's then when you look inside the crack of the elevator doors, there's no elevator. It's just an empty shaft.
I look down. Do I see a body?
No, you just see darkness below.
I think this guy just jumped down an elevator shaft. He didn't scream, so he wasn't afraid.
Okay. And,
There's
like,
no
that's
elevator,
gonna,
though.
That's gonna weird Chelsea out. She's not gonna walk that way. She's gonna keep going the other way.
Okay. All right. Roll one final navigation test.
Oh my gosh.
I can't. I'm not gonna look.
Okay. It's all right. No, it's all right. Like, there's something else I'm tracking. It's all good. Okay. Oh goodness, guys, I'm so worried for you. Okay. Eventually, you come to what looks like a giant set of stone doors, completely unlike anything you've seen before. Like something that would open up into a catacomb. You see what looks like the seals, almost, of the demons that you've read about. At least the same style, not the seals themselves. And this heavy stone door. Chelsea, you get this vague movement and prickling of your hair on the back of your neck as you look forward at this doorway.
Can I like translate it?
No, it's not language. It's more like decorative.
Oh, okay. So it's not like any. Okay. Yeah. I'll open the doors.
Push the doors open, and this whoosh of air comes out, and you hear whoosh. It kind of smells like kind of like dusty, kind of cold. And you look inside it, and it's incredibly dark.
Is this the right way?
I mean, do I recognize this as like the Whisper Labyrinth?
You've never been here before.
Oh, okay. But have I been looking for it, or was that?
You've been looking for your bottle, and you know your bottle is here, but you've never been in here before.
Okay. We should look around.
Why
and
are
I'll,
we
like,
okay with this dark cavern and not the one I found that was an elevator shaft?
Because the elevator shaft went down.
Isn't that where we want to go? I can't even tell what direction this goes in.
I don't know. And I'll like dig around in my purse and see if I have a flashlight.
Roll a luck test. Let's see if you have one. You do not.
62. I do not.
Can I search the area for any like candles or anything? Or
You do
torches
not see
even?
anything in the area, no.
And our phones are dead.
That's true.
You have a little bit of
Mostly-
juice left. You have a little bit of juice left in your phone, but not a lot.
Okay. Album's call out to Chelsea. All right, well, we'll use the flashlight on my phone, and when it dies, we'll use your phone. And if we don't find anything, we get consumed by darkness. Sound like a plan?
That's awful, but okay.
Okay.
When yours
All right.
dies, we'll use mine to head back.
Well, we'll need something to leave a trail then. I used your blood last time. I'm down to use that again.
No. No, I'm fine without doing that.
All right. So you guys go inside?
Yeah.
Okay. You enter in and you can see around you. It's just like it's like catacombs, but there's shelves. And anywhere there's like a flat surface, there are bottles. All different shapes, sizes, composition, plaques engraved on them with names. But there's so many in here, more people than you probably have ever really befriended or acquainted with. There's just so many. And there's ways out. You can see there's 2 paths leading out of here.
Say,
guys
Chelsea,
want to-
what do you think would happen if I drank one of these bottles? You think I'd have 2 souls in me?
I don't know.
Is that how schizophrenia works?
I'm an intelligence analysis. Like that's what I did. I don't know.
You're not an intelligence. You've died twice. Intelligent people don't die. He just wanders off down a
What
hallway.
is your problem?
Okay.
Which way did you go?
He wasn't paying attention. Whichever direction the labyrinth took him, as he considers drinking a soul.
Yeah, you call off after him as you say he goes left. Like, what is your
No.
problem?
I'll call out and say that, but I'll probably go the other way.
Okay. I mean, he disappeared into darkness, and then you go the other way. Okay. Album, you move forward a bit, you go into another room, bottles everywhere. You've got your phone on very low flashlights, very, very dark, and you're like the faintest, like you've got it like battery save, basically, protecting as much light as you possibly can. And that's when you realize Chelsea's not near you.
Ugh. To do a 180, walk back out and start calling after her. Hey, we need to stick together. If you die again, I'm going to be very irritated.
You walk back the way you came. Not only do you not see Chelsea, but you don't see the door that you entered in from.
Chelsea, the labyrinth is sentient and we split up.
Chelsea, you hear none of that.
Okay.
Chelsea, you move forward into the next room, and yeah, you just see a room filled with bottles cut into shelves on the wall.
Do I like recognize any names on any of them?
Yeah, roll a luck test.
27.
Yeah, you see Detective Graham Giordanda, 1995, cop who
What is-
was, who was working the case of Abigail Wright.
What's
We're almost done. We're almost done. We're getting so close. I'm gonna kill the 2 of them if I have to.
What's the
Thought we'd be
bottle
done an
look
hour ago. What's that?
like? What's his bottle and like the insides look like?
Yeah. Well, it's a dark, like, tall wine
Oh.
bottle.
Got it.
Yeah, and it's got his name, like Graham Giordanda, engraved on a plaque on the base.
Okay, I liked him, so I'm not gonna mess with it, and I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. Move into another room. Similar layout. Little, crevices here and there. What do you do?
Oh, what do I see in this room?
Same thing, just bottles everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. I really want to find mine.
Okay. All right. Album. You what do? You look around for Chelsea, you don't see her.
Album's going to dig deep into his eardrums and eyeballs and somatosensory system and just see if his alertness can pick up any kind of sound or anything that'll lead him in a direction, as opposed to just wandering aimlessly.
Yeah, you actually do hear what sounds like this quiet clicking and clacking, like in a very distinctive way, followed by this spinning up like a flywheel from one of these small little pockets in the walls.
Would I recognize that sound to be similar to what the marionettes make?
No, it sounds actually a little more similar to what you heard when you were in Barbas's home, trying to
God.
decipher the postcard, and Vessel did something with the machine just a few feet from you. Very similar mechanical noise.
That lion machine thing?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, fuck
That's correct.
that. Maybe it's nice this time. Could I use my forensic skill? So are we? Is this place like? Is this in dirt or mud, or is this like a stone floor?
You're like more like a mausoleum right now, and you see like these. It's very dark. Again, you have a very small amount of light, and there's these alcoves, and occasionally the light will kind of reflect off of like the reflective bottles. So anything that's glass or metal or something like that.
So Album wants to just look. He's gonna do like Fred from Scooby-Doo and put his phone down to the ground and just look for like disturbed dust or any kind of markings and follow those to see if he can catch up with Chelsea.
You notice there are small footprints in the dust leading.
Are they
to...
about her foot size?
No, they're much smaller than that actually.
Oh, good, children. Like a child footprint?
Yeah. As you track kind of the way they're going, you move your light up, and you see leaping out from one of these alcoves, knocking a few bottles to the ground. You see what looks like this cherub-like golden child leaping after you. Its arm extended, but there's no arm. It's just this large butcher knife as she slashes out at you. I think I have a picture of this I can show you.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yep. There you go.
All right.
I was here one day when I was sick.
Yes, you were. So let me see how I do with this.
Oh dear.
Oh God. Slashes out at you, misses entirely, and stabs its knife into the ground. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna take off sprinting. I
Okay.
have a high dex, so
You run away. You hear the sounds of it behind you. You look back briefly, like over your shoulder, but you don't actually see anything. You just see darkness.
yeah. Album's just gonna start chanting to himself quietly. Out is through, and he's just gonna just run, and he's just gonna be like, "Fuck it, this out is through. I'm just gonna run through the labyrinth."
Okay. Chelsea,
Yes.
it's been, I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 2 days. You're not really sure how long it's been since you and Album entered the labyrinth specifically. You're looking around, and you see in the darkness up ahead, after the light in your phone finally dies, you see suddenly this tiniest bit of light appear. And this blank white mask, barely illuminated in the darkness, barely visible, appears in the middle of like a hallway moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Begins to step closer. You see what looks like maybe purplish light type robes. It has almost like there's some kind of small illumination that seems to be happening. It's got these velvet slippers, this pale mask, this fine silver corkscrew that's hanging from this long satin cord around its neck, and it calls out to you. It says, Magnolia. As it begins to slowly get closer.
Do I recognize it from anything?
No.
Oh, right.
You see its arms underneath its robes. It has like this kind of shifting and kind of clacking quality as it's moving towards you. It looks almost puppet-like. Magnolia, come and see.
Do you have my bottle?
Come and see.
She'll...
Speaking, hang on one sec. As I gotta switch my headphones really quick.
God dang it.
Bad timing.
I guess I'm going, Jeff. At a respectable distance.
Okay. So, what do you do?
I'm going at a
You're gonna follow it?
A respectable distance. He knows
And so
my name.
it slowly starts moving away. You follow it. And after a few minutes, you find this room with all of these bottles all over the place. And it kind of waddles over and close and towards the towards one shelf, casts this arm in the direction of one of the bottles. You look over and you see on the plaque, it says Magnolia Roads, and then it bows and leaves.
I'll go get my bottle.
Okay. Grab your bottle.
What other ones are near my bottle?
Names you don't recognize.
I open it.
Okay. You open it and you hear a voice waft into your ears. And it says, and you can't make it out exactly like whose voice it is. It sounds familiar, but foreign all the same. It just says, you have served the king well these years. A truly loyal subject. Return now to his court. And the bottle is otherwise empty. Just the voice.
Okay. What else is in this room?
I first need you to roll.
Okay.
To roll sand first.
Yeah.
45 Jeff.
Wait, hang on one second. Okay. I need you to roll a D100.
Okay, 45.
Another D100 on top of this.
Well, I need you to roll a
Sand roll, or-
sand, and then I need you to roll a D100.
Oh, okay. 5.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Okay. Roll a D20.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
19, Jeff.
Take 19 sand. Restore 19 sand.
Okay.
Add a motivation. You can replace Find Your Bottle with Return to the King's Court.
Okay.
Okay. Album. What are you doing?
Do I feel like or know I'm not being followed any longer, or am I still?
You don't hear anything. Your alertness is high enough that you don't hear anything.
Okay. Album being like on his own is just gonna be like, well, shit. I don't know what people come to this labyrinth for, and so he'll just kind of mull over like information that he's gathered, and he'll just remember like, okay, JC Lynn's was something we were looking for, so he'll just start looking, just wandering around looking for bottles that say JC.
Okay. Okay. So, one second, just checking something. Roll search test.
I search the cosmos. I succeed.
Wow.
7.
Up ahead, you hear what sounds like weeping and then a yelp. Something violent just occurred. And so you turn leftward instead. Kind of wander for a bit. And you come to a room where there is this sudden burst of light. That your phone has started to die at this point. And you see in an alcove in front of you, there's a very ornate looking, ever changing dark colors of glass on top of some kind of machine. When you peek at the name, it says JC Lynn's. You notice that there is a yellow wax stopper on top, and the yellow sign has been stamped into it.
Yeah, Album will say, wow, it really does work like that. He'll pick up the bottle. Does it feel warm or cold in his hands?
As you pick it, you realize it's attached to this machine, and you realize that it's almost like a pull lever.
Like you mean like a
You realize as you try to pick it up, it doesn't just pick right up, but it starts to lean
Yeah.
forward as if you could pull it towards yourself.
like a gambling machine one?
Yes.
He'll, I guess, pull the lever.
Okay. As you pull the lever, you can hear what sounds like the whirring up of some kind of machine, and you see that there's this large clockwork wheel at the base of the pedestal on which this bottle has been resting, and it begins to spin and spin and spin. You can you pull the bottle towards you, and eventually it just sort of comes free, and that's when the clockwork wheel seems at its fullest speed. Ashley, you can go ahead and remove your I forgot to tell you, you can remove your things. It's at this point you notice that the alcove begins to shift and recess backwards, and a passageway opens up behind it. You look in, you can see these stairs moving upward into what looks like mist over top of shadow.
I guess I go toward it.
Yeah, you walk into the alcove and there's steps. It just goes up and you see mist. You can keep going if
Yeah.
you like.
Yeah, I'm imagining I'm gonna poke my head out from a lake.
You ascend the steps and disappear into the mists. And we'll cut over to Ashley at this point. All right, Ashley. Chelsea just heard a message in her bottle. What do you want to do?
I really want to return to the King's Court, but
Okay.
I'm not sure how to go about that.
Okay. What do you know? What do you remember? Walk through all of the various missives and messages, clues and cryptic notes that you've had
I've
over
been
the
trying to go
years.
through my notes. Like, I don't know.
All right, rolling in times 5.
15.
Okay. Return to his court. You start saying to yourself, where is his court? Where is his court, Chelsea?
Carcosa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly right. At least that's what you think. And then it kind of dawns on you that there's this poem you remember. You're not sure where it comes from. Your memory has been filled with holes of late. But you remember a poem. And you remember it was on stationery that said Hotel Broadalbin. Find J.C. Lynn's at Hotel Broadalbin. Go now. Find the hotel. The labyrinth. The author, his bottle. The city, the lake, its shadow, the battle. Then the party, the dance, the girl in blue. The one singing, nothing is true, except out is through.
So then, if I'm in here and there's a bunch of other bottles, I'm going to try and find JC Lynn's bottle.
Okay. You're in almost utter darkness at this point, so you stumble randomly. Roll a search test.
Okay. Success 47 over 60.
Okay. Okay. That didn't roll right. There we go. Okay. You wander around for what seems like hours, days. You don't feel hungry. You don't even feel tired, really. At a certain point, it's just like you're bumping into things. It's so dark. And finally, you see light. And the last time you went towards it, it was this masked puppet who showed you to your bottle. This time, the light leads you into a room. And you can see that there is this alcove on one side of the room that is strangely lit. And you don't even know exactly how. No light fixture, no torch, no sconce, just illuminated. You can see that there is a pedestal. There's a bottle that seems to be on this pedestal with a yellow, waxy lid to it, like over top of the stopper of the cork. You can see some strange clockwork device that seems to be connected to the pedestal itself. And when you peek at the plaque, the name reads J.C. Lynn's.
So there's... I guess I'll go for the bottle.
Yeah, you reach out, you try to pull the bottle off, but it doesn't come off. It's connected. But you realize you can kind of pull it towards you. It's almost like you can slide it like it's a switch or a lever.
That sounds like a trap, but... I mean, she'd still try and pull it towards her regardless. See if she could snap it off.
You do so, and you do snap it off. And as you do, you can hear as this clockwork wheel at the base of the pedestal begins whirring and whirring and whirring. And you see all these different gears and switches begin moving around. The light even flickers briefly. And that's when the wall of the alcove begins to slowly grind backwards. And then shifts off to the right, revealing a staircase that goes upward.
I mean, the only way out is through.
Yeah, you stand at the base of the staircase, you kind of step into the alcove, you look up and you see mist, just mist over blackness.
Before going, can I pop open the cork of the bottle?
You try to, but you cannot. You try as hard as you can. Yours, when you opened yours, it was the easiest thing in the world. Right off. This doesn't seem to work.
I wish I had that guy's corkscrew. I mean, I'll keep hold of the bottle, but I'll go forward.
Yeah, you take a few steps forward, go up the stairs, and you disappear into the mist. So then we kind of all fade to black, right? Everybody fades to black. And all of you kind of lose time for a bit. You just think a bit about, you're not sure exactly where you are, how long it took. And it's just void for the longest time. Until finally, at a certain point, the silence and the void begins to fade. And you hear a sound. The sound of sloshing water. And that's where we're going to end part 3. And we'll dive into where exactly you're at in January, as that is the end of part 3.
Oh, shit.
We all made it.
I can't believe you all went through the door. You guys are crazy. You don't even know where you're at. You're insane. That is the end of part 3.
Oh, goodness.
I look forward to our post-game discussion where I can tell you, and you guys can thank me for being such a benevolent and forgiving GM.
I'm pretty sure
I expect Christmas gifts from everybody once you...
3 different times for that.
You guys...
What?
Oh, no, not that. Other things.
Oh.
Other things. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's part 3. Thank you for everyone who hung out through all that. That went about an hour longer than I thought it would. I was like, I thought we'd get done in an hour, maybe 2, but then Chelsea fucking died, and yeah, so
Sorry.
that happened. So it's Ash's fault. Ash is the one who's got to go. Well, you shouldn't have died, Ashley, so it's your fault. So there you go.
And Vessel was like, I ain't waiting for anybody. I'm just going.
I know. I appreciate Long's like very level-headedness. I'm just going, you know? So I tried to take your I forgot to get the headphones off because I wanted to see if you guys all sort of did the same thing. You went in the door and everything. So that was interesting. We will dive into exactly where you're at, whether it's where you think you're at or whether it's somewhere else.
Hopefully it's the city, because that's the next line of the poem.
I mean, we'll find out January 7th, exactly where you're at and who you're playing now. So that'll be interesting. We'll roll some new characters.
We're all
And
dead.
see
Detail there.
what goes down. But yeah, that's about it for us. We've been running for a long time. Welcome to New York 1890. Exactly. We're who knows where we're at now. We're back in the night floors. But yeah, that'll be it for tonight.
Oh, no.
That'll be it for tonight. We will be playing again tomorrow. You can catch a few of us back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard, as we're playing One Ring, going through our second session there. Monday we'll be back for Alien at 9 Central. More Delta Green, even though we're probably not playing Delta Green with Impossible Landscapes. I think January 7th is what we're targeting. Once the holidays are over and everything. But if you want more Delta Green, come back next Thursday over on Garblight Games, where I think we should be able to finish our Visit game. So we've been playing Visit for the past month and a half, 2 months since October. So you can kind of see how that plays out. And that's it. So if you're watching in the channel, thank you for hanging out and watching our nonsense and our craziness. If you're watching this later on YouTube, we really, really do appreciate that. We have one more part to go. We have been playing this since we've learned March, and I'm very excited. I hope we can finish it before March so that we can have it done in a year. If you follow the channel, jump on the Discord, follow on Twitter. If you have ideas for like what you'd want to see us play next, because I'm already starting to plan and think about, well, what do we do after Impossible Landscapes? Because this is a big hole to fill. Do we play more Delta Green? Do we play Call of Cthulhu? Do we play something else? So if you have thoughts on what you might be interested in seeing on the channel, let us know. We have our own ideas too, and so we'll toss it around and figure out what's the best option for us all. But we got a long time. We still got part 4 to play. I'm very excited to get some of this bonkers stuff in part 4. It's absolutely insane.
I want the wrap up. I want to know. I have so many questions.
Write them down because I feel
with context, because we've learned if we go back to look at the questions
That
without
is
the
true.
context, we're not sure what it means.
I just want you to go from start to finish, and as we have questions, we'll ask you. This is going to be a 4-hour stream.
So many questions.
Yeah.
So many questions.
Fair enough.
So many things we did or didn't do.
Oh boy. All right. Let's go ahead and do a raid. Doesn't look like Spurt or Chuck are up running yet, so I think we're gonna go ahead and raid Vorpal Tales. It looks like they're playing some Dungeons and Dragons, so we'll go check out what they're doing. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next time. Follow the raid, make us look good and popular and all that kind of stuff, and have a great weekend. So put on the end screen while the raid warms up, and we'll catch you later. So bye-bye.